Yes. How's everyone doing? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the stream. Um, yes, one moment, please. Welcome to the stream, people. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. So, as per the title, you know what's going on today and that we're going to talk about. It's sad. Let's just call it what it is, man. It's sad. It's sad. So for those of you that don't know what's happening, essentially, I think over the weekend there was a stabbing in the UK. I believe it was in London. Of an MP, a member of Parliament of the UK, conservative member of Parliament in the UK, was fatally stabbed, and he got stabbed during I think they call it a surgery, but it's essentially a town hall meeting of sorts when the member of parliament is speaking with his constituents. So that's what's happening right now. So how about we just so we understand the depth of this, I just wanted to kind of play a small video from the news, and let's see what they have to say.
The Conservative MP, Sir David Amess, has been stabbed to death while conducting a constituency surgery in Essex. A 25-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Sir David, who was 69, died from multiple wounds, and the knife was recovered at the scene in a church in Leigh-on-Sea. Counter-terrorism police are leading the investigation, but they're keeping an open mind as to the possible motive. Boris Johnson has paid his own tribute, saying Sir David was one of the kindest, nicest, most gentle people in politics. The Home Secretary, Priti Patel, has asked all police forces to carry out urgent reviews of the security arrangements for MPs, and security at the Houses of Parliament will also be reviewed. Let's join now our Home Affairs correspondent, Daniel Sandvad, who's live in Leigh-on-Sea for us tonight. Daniel.
Yes, Clive, tonight this town on the Thames estuary is at the centre of a counter-terrorism investigation. Just after midday, the Friday quiet was broken by the sounds of sirens and helicopters as police and paramedics rushed to the scene where the local MP had been stabbed. But despite their efforts, they were unable to save him. Forensics teams and firearms officers at the Methodist church where the local MP had been holding his fortnightly surgery. Before Sir David Amess's meeting with constituents was over, a man had stabbed him multiple times in front of his assistant and his PA. He died at the scene, leaving constituents and party colleagues bewildered and in shock.
And it's so tragic. This is such a nice area, and for this to happen is, what can I say?
Yeah, he was so nice person, loved everyone, and he was doing so brilliant job for all the local residents and everyone.
What he said, he meant. It wasn't wishy-washy, so you knew where you stood with him, and he didn't suffer fools gladly. He would speak his mind, and often did at different meetings that he went to. But he was 100% in supporting Southend and the residents of Southend.
Will my right honourable friend join me in
Sir David Amess was the MP for Southend West and respected throughout politics. He'd been an Essex MP, first in Basildon and then in Southend since 1983. His constituency surgery at Belfair's Methodist Church had started at 10 this morning. At 12:05, police were called to reports of a stabbing. They arrived within minutes, and police officers and then ambulance paramedics battled to save the MP's life. At 3 p.m, police said a man had died, confirming later that it was Sir David Amess MP. The air ambulance sent to the scene was never used. Police arrested a 25-year-old man on suspicion of murder. He's a British citizen, understood to be of apparently Somali origin. Detectives said he was detained shortly after officers arrived and a knife was recovered at the scene. Quickly, it became a terrorism inquiry.
The investigation is in its very early stages and is being led by officers from the Specialist Counter-Terrorism Command. we made it clear at the time of the incident that we did not believe there was any immediate further threat to anyone else in the area. It will be for investigators to determine whether or not this is a terrorist incident.
Sir David was a committed Roman Catholic, and tonight at a specially arranged mass in the Catholic Church just down the road, they were paying tribute to a highly respected politician murdered while meeting the people he served. Daniel Sanford, BBC News, Leigh-on-Sea.
If you
So I hope that brought everybody up to speed on what's going on in the UK. Hey Omar, I completely hear you. This not only tarnishes, the name Somali at another level. Anyone and everyone related to that background is now looked upon with suspicion. So I'm talking about, look, there's terrorist attacks all over the world all the time. I understand. What I'm talking about is the fact that I believe this Somali guy is arrested, and allegedly these are the accusations that were brought up against him. I believe he was born in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was born in the in the UK. I want you guys to notice something interesting here. I want you guys to notice the fact that this is not referred to as quote unquote homegrown terrorism. It's flat out just referred to as just terrorism. You understand? The nuance I want you guys to pick up on is the fact that this guy, this allegedly Somali guy that they arrested, was born in the UK. So please understand that waxaan inaga maqan adaan Soomaali nahay, waxaan ilowsanahay intaanu martinahay. Like, I think we've forgotten that it was us that came to the West, right? And please spare me all the ills of the past. I understand him very well. We're versed on those. I just really want to talk about the fact of the matter, which is the fact that we are in these countries as guests. I don't care. Like, there's places where they don't even give you citizenship, right? But here you're given citizenship. So here's my fear, and I want to know what you guys think. Please do so in the comments, or here let me share the link actually, and see whoever wants to hop on can hop on as well and have a conversation. There you go. Yeah, please hop on if you can, and we can have the conversation. But what I wanted to say is that what gets to me is the fact that we've forgotten that we came out of our of the Horn of Africa and came to these Western countries. Now, very quickly, what I'm afraid is going to happen is I'm afraid there's going to be different classes of citizenship. I'll explain. Right now, when you get a citizenship of a Western country, you get all of the benefits that come with that, right? You get all of the benefits that come with that. You're a full citizen for all intents and purposes, right? That you are a full citizen. So therefore, you can basically, function as a just full citizen, as if you were born there. So the person that was born there and you now just have the same rights. I'm afraid that what this is going to bring about is that, because right now there's talks of deportation, things like that. But how do you deport someone that was born on the land you're deporting them from? So I think what's going to happen in the West more and more is that there's going to be a coming to reckon, there's going to be a moment of reckoning where basically the West is going to ask, hey, look, are you with us or are you trying to, fuck us over? What's going on here? Because you guys are coming here asking for help, and when we provide you that help, well, something else is coming out of it. Like, how do we equate that, right? And I'm specifically talking about Somalis. I really don't want to talk about any other, minority group because I'm Somali. This concerns me. This concerns us. So that's why I'm talking about it. You know, so I'm not going to talk about the all the other different ethnicities that live in the West and all of their struggles. I could care less. I shouldn't say that. I do care, but it's not what I want to talk about right now. What I want to talk about right now is Somalis in the West and how we're being pushed towards that edge where the West is literally going to ask, look, are you about the West or are you against the West? Like, what the hell's going on, right? That is, I feel, almost something that is coming to us, and whether we like it or not, we're gonna have to deal with it. Maya says, "You are right, new nomad. They wholehearted welcome as in their country, us in their country, and give us citizenship. Some of us bring messed up ideologies and act on it." Yeah, absolutely, Maya, absolutely. But the thing is, it's just not even just the person acting upon these crazy ideologies, but everyone else that has the same name as them or the same background as them and the same ethnicities as them, right? So now more than ever, I think the Somali community needs to kind of really stand up and say enough is enough. We can no longer just kind of be these bystanders that are just there and things just happening to them. We're actually going to have to pick a side, essentially, and there are side being the world is asking people to pick sides, essentially. So we got to grow up a little bit. In my humble opinion, I think that incidents like these are only exasperating the patience of the people that are coming here that actually want to have a good life. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm talking about Somalis. Like, there's a lot of Somalis, the great majority of Somalis just want to have a better life and like provide their kids and give a better shot at their at life for their kids. That's a noble thing to want. You understand? Like, that's a noble thing to want. But we hear of these things, and it's obviously right now is the peak, because I believe this only happened Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Or so we're at the peak right now, but these things will keep happening, and the silence is going to be interpreted. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be interpreted as being accomplice, like as being complicit, right? That's what it's going to be interpreted as if we're silent about these different these sort of attacks. Now, there's another one that I haven't even heard of. Now, I'm not sure if this is an old one or new one and whatnot, but the title or the date on the video is, I believe, June. Yeah, I believe it was June. Now, June 2021. So this past June, essentially. And this one is basically a migrant that actually, it was another knife attack in Germany, right? It was in Germany. And so let's see if we can watch this together. But first, let me welcome to the stream my brother, Buhola's finest. How you doing, broski? Missed you, man.
Yeah, man, I'm back, brother. Man. What's happening, brother? Good to hear you.
Things are good, bro. Things are good, bro. I'm just a little bit frustrated because I'll be honest with you. I'm a little bit frustrated. You know what I mean? I don't know if you heard of what happened in the UK, but I played the news there. Some Somali kid allegedly, and I'm gonna keep saying allegedly because in the off chance, Ben Kushegi my buhola in my heart of hearts, I'm hoping still. I'm hoping Niyaho.
Do you know my mother? You know what they said to me? She goes, "I'm hoping it will be on. I'm hoping he's Eritrean." I'm like, "Mom, that doesn't make it any better."
Somali moms are hilarious.
It doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, that's beside the point, right? But yeah, man, like, bro, I'm so frustrated with this, and I'm believing. I think that this is going to kind of head us back. I mean, and this is kind of like spitting in the wind, man. At this point, that's what it feels like. You understand what I'm saying? And I think there's going to be different classes of citizenship. But we'll continue the conversation. Shit, there was another guy in Germany. This one is in Germany. So but on egg now.
Gegenwärtigen Stand handelt es sich hier um einen somalischen Staatsangehörigen, der seit 2015 hier in Würzburg sich aufhält, der zuletzt wohl in einer Obdachlosen.
So yeah, I mean the music was a little bit much for me, but the message is the same.
Yeah.
And that guy, what Arakte, he didn't look right. Yo, Galjiri Sordo go. What up, fam? Marka maxaa ku dhahday, this is something that's happening. This guy came into the country in Germany. They were blaming Merkel, right? They say, why are you letting all these migrants in? And that's the other conversation that's going to have to happen in Bohole, because that Kenny, unfortunately, they are still coming out of the Horn of Africa and coming into these Western countries. And I cannot blame them, because that's something that my parents did a long time ago, right? But Lakin, how much harder is it going to be for a mother that has her kid, a single mother that's trying to have a better life for her kids, trying to come into into the West, which I would want, right? Because then they come in, the kids are safe, and the kids can kind of learn. And but Lakin, shit is gonna get super tight at the borders. Do you think?
Listen,
Come on.
if I attend the UK, we have in the UK 2 problems. Here, the problem is that I'm talking about all British citizens. We can even expand it to Europe or North America. The 2 problems in Islamic radicalization way jirtaa waa sax iyo waxaa jira wax la yiraahdo far right extremism. I want to show you something. There's this program in the UK called the Prevent program, where it's about safeguarding vulnerable people from being basically drawn into these things. So let me just share. Let me just put it into the back, and I want you to have a look at that. And it shows you how it works in terms of how young kids can be safeguarded. And I think it was Maya that said it, whether we should accept or condemn these individuals or whatnot.
Right.
We'll come to all of that, but we need to establish, first of all, do we even know we have a problem? That's the first step. Do we even understand we have an issue? I don't think so. Because and I'm going to explain to you a major contradiction on it, or crisis in identity. Let me give you an example. Positive, for example, Mo Farah, haddii la yidhaahdo Mo Farah waa nin British Soomaalida ma ogolo waxay ku leeyihiin sheeg inuu Soomaali yahay fiiriya cadday inuu Soomaali yahay waa nin Soomaali make it clear
Yeah.
fiiriya
عجيب والله اللي طلع عجيب والله. Like sometimes I'll go crazy if I don't laugh, bro. I'll go crazy. هي قصة.
already waa fahmaysa meesha ka socda ma garta
absolutely warina boholdo bal earkaadi walaalo earkaadi qofan soo dhaweynayay earkaadi Kadir Farah, is that you?
Yes, my guy, it's me.
How you doing? You good, bro?
Wallahi,
So do
I'm very good, wallahi.
so do walaal. Okay, boholdo wax noo dhameeyay marka I would love to hear you two come in. Ku soco boholdo.
marka wuxuu ka yihiin positive waxa la leeyahay cadaynu Soomaali yahay حتى مسلم دو يعدين كنو مسلم فيريا
هاي
wuxuu markay noqdaan negative maxaa la oranaya waa Soomaali maxaa la oranaya waa Muslim marka it to me waxaan u arkaa a big contradiction wax positive dhan waa rabtaa in lagu macnaha connection in la sameeyo Soomaalinimada iyo positive-nimada laakiin dadka Soomaalida wax qalad sameeyaan ama dambi galaan wax connection ma ogolid
kor معاكينا وقاعدنا دنان كينا يقدر ويان شكله.
Can I give you an example from history?
Of course.
تاريخ waxaan ku siiyaa an example. Fiiriya. Ninka la yiraahdo Khalid bin Walid oo kale waxa loo leeyahay waa sayful Islam. Waxa lagu leeyahay waxa weeyaan waa sayfullah for example. Okay. Haddii aan ku tusanin muslim wax qalad sameeyay waxa loo leeyahay Islam iyo Muslims are very different things. lama ogola markaas in isku
wala wax kala
wala kala bixinaa wala isku daraa markay tahay positive wala kala bixinaa markay tahay negative marka you can't have it both ways yeah so inta ma ku dir lahaa walaal
thank you so much boholde Qadar Farah kusoo dhawo how are you brother you might be on mute hold on yeah there you go bana maqasha Qadar kusoo dhawo
arrintan macnaha ma ogeen inuu hadda ninkan Soomaali ahaa laakiin hadduu noqdo Soomaali mar walba inaan Soomaalideena aan support gareyno ninkan fiican support gareyno waxa weeye si kale ma aha mogsan tahay inaan dhahno macnaha dadka aan anaga dhan aan ka warqabno arrinta xaaladda si u dhacday iyo wax kasta mogsan tahay tan kale waxaan waxay leeyihiin waa Islamic iyo waxaas waa their way our way is we gotta sweep it under the floor again you know that's how I think.
Are you serious, man? You really think that's the best way to do it, to sweep it under the floor?
Because you know I'm just thinking what can we do Amal
they waxaan ku hadlayna waa taabada inader we got to do something's got to get done ma iska qarina ata
may anaga ma taqaan waxa ugu fiican inaa macnaha ninkan qalad uu sameeyay ma fahanteen xaaladiis inaa fiirin waa isaga xataa nin Soomaali waa mogsan tahay maanta wuxuu ku jirayaa meel mogsan tahay Ilaahay yaqaan for the rest of his life and it's going to be a bad name for us what we can do is I mean, we gotta support the guy. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but like,
okay. intaan ku umaleyn intaan ku fahansanahay waxaad leedahay waxa inaka wax ka helanaa it's gonna be to our advantage baad leedahay intaan waxan under the carpet sub garayno soo saas u jeedaa ma
saas amal
isagu already amal wala qabtay he's gonna have his own punishment ka ku dhacay doona and all that saas u jeedaa soo
saas ka wada ba asiga Ilaahay u taala gudi ma fahantay
ina dero
waxaan sameynaa anaga waxa weey ma taqaana ina macnaha everybody need to be informed ma fahantay inuu waxaan wali wala yahay waxaan wax sameeyay ma fahantay oo haddana ma taqaana markuu uu sameeyay maraad waxa u fiican in la aamuso wallahi billahi saa wax u fiirinayo yani
sax
la aamuso sheekada ma taqaana mar walba walaalkeen waxay mogsan tahay oo la support gareeya asaga saas oo arkaa aniga wallahi
okay fikradaad waa dhiibatay Qadarow aad ma madaxay saaran tahay laakiin se walaalkay I respectfully disagree with you waayo anu waxaan taaganaya waxani ma ahan wax aan maxaan ku radaaye iska sii jeesan karano wax ma aan ahan in aanu sirta hoos gelin karano wax ma aha aan ka seexan karano inaadeer waayo anagu isagoo quraata maxaan ku radaaye uma dareemayo I don't know intaad joogtid UK-da intaad joogtid in kala garan maaye laakiin waa siday maxaan ku radaaye hadeertoole ay tiri cause it's been a long week for those of us who are regular law-abiding Somalis. Somali badan baa inaadeer jooga meeshiiyo shaqaysanaya oo wax soo biirinaya oo wanaagga ku dadaalaya oo ciyaalkooda korsanaya soo ma fahmin
aad
marka anigu ninkan shakhsi ahaan uma eegaye waxaan u arkaa heede qof Soomaalid magacaygii Soomaaliyeed soo ma darag magac in waan soo leedahay leene soo ma darag suuliga gelinaya kacankaas aan arkay anigu
Oh my days wallahi horta fiir waa joogaa horta UK waa joogaa ma fahanti
haye
berina shaqo waa galaya ma fahanti
haye
and the thing is waxaa la shaqeynaya cadaankaas xataa ma fahanti haddii igu ogaadaan hadda ninkan Soomaali waaye ani they're gonna look at me like xoogaa si kala lii fiirinaya
but that's what I'm talking about sahib that's what I'm talking about
anu waa ogahay waxa ka wada but the best thing I could do is just ignore it because I remember there was a guy for a couple of months ago he was shooting people randomly. ما فهمت؟
هي.
Here in UK man.
ها.
New Zealand.
New Zealand yeah New Zealand. والله واحد صوصته أنا وقاري كجروا وودي كعدان. I was like yo this guy is dadku شو ذا محوية. He's wrong. قصعه. معناه عدان they support him straight away. ما فهمت؟
ها.
والله
that feels. I sound a little bit harsh. ما فهمت؟ لكن you know where I come from.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like if you UK that is the United Kingdom, Pakistan today وحاليا isku imaadan community-ga condemnation ay sameeyaan waxayna ficilkan wuxuu ku yahay against British values, against democracy. waxa dhan macnaha way cadeen laakiin anaga Soomaalidan dhahayno waa iska aamusayna oo let's pretend it didn't happen. dadkan ayaa kaasi sheekanaa markaas ay sii daran tahay sheekada.
waxaan waa in la xaleeyo ma wax la qarin karayo ma
no kusantahay hala qariga arinta macnaha waxaan leeyahay mataqaanaa ilaa iyo cabaar mataqaanaa ninkan wuxuu sameeyay waa qalad I'm not 100% support of that but I'm just supporting my people
waxaa daran for example fiiriya adu xataa ninka cadaanka duu xaleeyo maxaa loo sheegay waa cadaannimadiisa Soomaa UK is a country that is 86% white fiiriya waxaa daran qof marti uu ku yimid oo wax kugu sameeyay Soomaa instead of ninka guriga iska lahaay iyo ilmihii guriga it's not the same walaal isma sheekada
at some point waa inaanu waxaan xalayno
walaal nin nomad aniga wax kale kuu sii sheegay for example video
and by the way go ahead and let me know when you want me to put on those screens and share with the people
it's okay whenever you're ready video waxaad sheegaysa daay wan maqlaay video waxaad tiri I think inay waxaas dhici doonto waxbaa sheegaysa daay like wayba dhacdo waan taagnaan already waxaad tiri waxa ka dhici doonta like a two-tier system soo maaha
the two-tier citizenship yes
wayba dhacdabo anaba ku sheegay let me give an example wayba dhacdabo gabar yariis 15 jir ah waxa la dhihi jiray Shamima Begum fiiriya waa gabadhii oo what they call them the ISIS brides fiiriya waa kuwii Daesh
maxay Begum maxay
waxa la Shamima Begum fiiriya
Shamima Begum yeah she was Bengali I think yeah
no she was British born
oh yeah but I mean see what I'm doing yeah go ahead
she was a British born girl fiiriya maadaama waalidkeeda ka yimaadeen Bangladesh markay wadanka wax ka haleysay waxa la yiri citizenship-kana waa laga qaatay qof ahaa qof cadaan citizenship lagama qaadan karo sababtu waxay tahay under the Geneva Human Rights Convention you cannot leave anybody stateless ma fahanta walaal
sax
marka dhibka jira wuxuu already waa la sameeyay two-tier system da Soomaali tahay oo wadanka wax ka haleysid waa la celinaya qasab marka
wax dhacay what's already happening baa leedahay
At the Shamima Begum, wasn't she stripped?
That is true, actually. I'm not sure what happened with that, actually. That's a good point. How could I answer Shamima Begum?
Citizenship. You're not a British citizen. Madam waalidkaada uu ka yimid Bangladesh. Wow. It's interesting. Marka already waxyaabo noocaas aad ka hadlaysay way jirtaa laakiin waxa laga yaabaa sida ay oranaysa in laga sii daro mi fahanta
صح
Like
ما
walaalka
وكسي درنانسا oo hooyada ciyaalkeedii la soo cararaysa la soo behoofisa ayaa lagu oranayaa ku yar Soomaaliyeed qabtid aad wadatid berito la anake midiyahana galgalinay no thank you and that's going to happen you know what I mean like that's going to happen and I'm sorry but we're ways away like our man it's a terrible situation man
walaalkay khidr waxaan rabaa inaan weydiiyo khidro
ها
lacala if
ها
we condemn ama haddaan cambaareeno lacala what's the worst is gonna happen maxaa dhacaya what's the worst
maya والله maya fiiri waxa weeye horta
Mm.
wax mataqaanaa arrintan waa xun tahay ma fahantay
waa ogahay
wejigeena iyo magaceena aa meesha yaala ma fahantay
sax
okay waxa weeye qofku wuxuu is gonna miss out his citizenship 100% dadkan waxa weeye already the many steps ahead of us ma fahantay waa the very organized way dadkan ma fahantay ya marka waxa weeye saaxiib citizenshipka waa la qaadaya horta 100% taa shaki kama taalo ma fahantay meesha marka maxaa yaalo aniga taagana meesha maxaa yaalo waxaa yaalo marka wiil Soomaali oo xabsi ku uraayo oo mataqaanaa hadhoodii mataqaanaa wadankii lagu celinayo oo kii wax dambe sameeyaaba tusaale ahaan loo qaadanayo haddana ma fahantay mar walba marka chance-keena waa si yaraanaya obviously ma fahantay
marka walaal
ya
maya anaga horta waxaan aaminsanahay inaan nahay marti you see iskuma malayna dad British dad American dad Canadian waxaas oo dhan anigu waxaan aaminsanahay wadankeena inaan ku naqo doono you see problemka meeshaas uu ku yimid we're still nomads anaga
we still nomads till today wallahi billah till today wallahi nomads barka waxa fiican mataqaana aniga I don't know wallahi we can go back to the youth hatta ma fahantay hadee lidin waa fahmi karnaa ma fahantay meelaha hadda fiiran dadkan si u nool yihiin waa dad jira waa horta mataqaana isku dhiibay westernizing ma fahantay marka that's why there's easy access to do what they do for example aniga hadda the way I see it is you and me for example oo kale isma dhiibin anaga man is dhiibi doona ma fahantay meesha inaan marti ku nahay waa ognahay weligay meesha ani guri kama gadanayo haddaa guri gadanayo wadankayga gadanayo ma fahantay
No. I disagree with that, man. Yo, get some land.
معناها ما فاهمي
let him continue هي قصة
معناها فكرتي انا ما فاهمي معناها انا ماشي
ما وجد قصة
يا معناها ماشي انا ما ديبي ما فهمتي مره waxaa rabaa wadankayga inaan u laabto oo wax taro xagga ma fahantay marka wallahi
the attitude walaal khidro isn't that the attitude which stops us from buying homes, which stops us from investing in the community, which stops us from so many important things in our community. If we think Martin, we're going back. Somalia,
it is gonna stop. ما هذه ساتر وحوي وحوي متقنع. قفك ماشي عندهم مرتكو يهاي. مرتلو أمبو يهاي ما فهمتي.
Okay, then I'm saying in مرتها. What about that? What if I feel like
I'm saying مرتها أنا أهين مرتها متقنع. عرفتي ماشي مرتها تدان أهين دينتها ماشي متقنع. دي والله الحكومة معنا ماذا سوكلة حكومة معنا. وحبك قبل كلمة تقول. ما فهمت.
دي حيوانة وحكي قبلنا لكن دينا there. We can't just say we're helpless.
To share the information about how to be more mataqaana collected together inaan waxaan isla wada ogaadno aan ka wada qabno bri shiil heesano camal oo kaleeto hadduu hadal nagu soo gadno oo to our community saas bisa liskaga shiil garayn karaa dadkan ma fahamtay
well the reality is we don't want to talk about radicalization the reality is diinta marna ka hadalno the reality is waxaan aaminsanahay Soomaalida haday ka hadlaan waxyaabaha noocan we have to confront waxa laga carraa waxaas waay waxa laga carraa radicalization how does it happen masaajidada dadka fikrooyinka waxaas laga carraa I think personally
ma wallahi waa beenta ma waxa way waxyaalahaas mutaqaddaf saan u fahmin ninka gurigiisa waa la tagay waxa laga arkay kitaab iyo balaal arko waxa way islamic way waxana liirmaho macna terrorist way saasa loo yirade ana ninka fahmkiisa islaam ha
okay
معناه لا كسي دغ markaas nin Soomaali ninka ma fahantay
okay
marka waxyaalahaas ma taqaanaan waxyaalo oo macnaha you have to bring a shield brother shield
for who
because these people yeah
shield for who I shield who can
I mean shield waxa ka wada shield macnaha meela wax iskaga dhigtid macnaha wax waran kugu soo socdo kale oo
gaashaan ha
gaashaan oo kale inaan ma haysano ma fahantay
ولا خدر نكنا دفاعي اسمه قبيل ذيك هاي يعني الصومالي
maya
مدة
maya wallahi
let's not go there. Let's not go there, Paul.
maya
I wanna
Maya,
know
me khadar waa mid ma ku sheegay walaalkay mid ma ku sheegay
ha
imika gaashaankan markaad leedid gaashaan waa inaan haysano hade already maskaxdaadii qof dagaal ku dhex jiraad ismoodaysaa dagaal baa ku
aniga
jirta
aniga
imika
waa
maskaxdaadii
hoosh
you think that inta lagula dagaaltamayaad ka filaysaa soo maad fahmin laakiinse mid baanad arkin inaadeer waxaan kuu sheegaya maxaa kodaan ku lahaa hooyo labadeedii ciyaal la soo behoofaysa oo la soo cararaysa soo maad arkin markay timaado
waa gartay
dadka ixtiraam nacamdee eg shaksi maxaa ka bini'aadaneed lagu ixtiraamay oo lasoo dhaweeyey oo ciyaalkii iskuul la baray oo ciyaalkii maxaan ku radaaye healthkoogii maxaan ku radaaye loo hagaajiyey oo dhar la siiyey oo xaafad la siiyey oo dhaqaale la siiyey oo mustaqbal loo diyaariyey hade marka ilmaha yar uu weynaadana uu middo uu qaadanayo uu dadkii xeerkaa uu ku soo garay sameeyey uu mididaa gelgelinayo inaadeer this is a one way war baad ku jirtaa like this is like cidna kulama dagaaltamayso waayo haddii lagula dagaaltamayo laguma soo dhaweyn lahayn baba like they had you at your most vulnerable time hooyo behoofsan oo ciyaalkeedii la soo cararaysa she is at the weakest position of and vulnerability of her life of her whole existence marka qofkii albaabkii u furay ee soo dhaweeyey marka ciyaalkii ay dhashay niyahow midi soo qaatanay midi geliyaan dee meesha waxba ka siiya maanaa waan halkii hooyaday maanaa waan masaacadan baa laga yeesaya inaadeer like we gotta come to the truth at one point proud imka xakan wuxuu yidhi they are right to think that she will fill her kids with hate for their hosts they will grow up calling them galo it is not far-fetched to see this manifest into a terror attack waa runtii waayo like we've got to come to a consensus and say no anigu aduu waxaa sameeyey ninkaas imika wiilkaa soomaaliyeed he's only accused right now but haddii soo baxdo intuu soomaali yahay intuu midida u gelgeliyey ninka ina xildhibaanka ina britishka ina diin uu cuqsaday waxaasoo dhan adaan soo garta hore anigu I'm not trying to support that I'm not going to support him inaadeer I'm telling you right now I'm not going to support him why yo aniga igalamu tashin adigana kalamu tashin waxaan suma fahmin
waa ogahay taas waa fahmin laakiin ani ma dhahay mugsantaa ninka qaladkiisa anigu ku support garaynaya bis kama wado ani waxaan rabaa in support garayno waxaan oo kaleeto macnaha hadda tan waa dhacda mugsan tahay macnaha aronaha saa u fikirayo walaa xitaa ma garanayo waayo waxa ay keenaya mataqaanaa xoogaa waa ka danqanaya waxaan ka danqanayaa bis qofkan Soomaaliga meel cil loogu tagay oo kale ma fahamtay for example waa fahamsanahay waxa ka wadid okay meeshan waa imaanay waxa weeye xaaladda meesha maraysa waa hadda ma fahamtay alxamdulillah
walaalkan aad dambe wax ma ku dari karaa walaalayaalo horta this idea horta I agree with Kelly what she's saying in the chat horta the idea of not investing intay ka timaadaa waaye ani waa fikir
horta meesha iskimaada ma xataa taasa taagayso
maya waxaan ka wadaa walaal horta our parents especially our parents generation they're going to have to take some responsibility for de markaanu yareen waxaanay nagu akhri jireen macnaha Soomaaliya soo noqon doonta waa noqon doonaa all of that stuff iyo meel kale waa laga haystaan you know wadaadadan waxay dad ka dhaadhacsi wax la yiraahdo hijra qofka oo wadankiisa macnaha some kind of like religious pilgrimage back to your country mi fahante marka laba meel ayaa nagala haystaa oon u degi laana wadamadeena sida the United Kingdom ama North America mi fahanta ama Europe oo kale laakiin anigu my idea waxay tahay walaalayaalo we need to accept responsibility for what happened and condemn this particular action so
and the longer we delay that the worse it's going to get for our people.
Waxu sheegay Pakistanta, Bangladeshiga, kulligood markay wax ka dhacaan, gacmo isqabsadaan, waxay dhahaan qofkan waa shakhsi oo radicalization lagu sameeyay, qofkan waa qof anaga macnaha nama matalo for example. They also make it clear that it doesn't represent British values, British Pakistani values. Dadkan waa dad macnaha ogol.
Way fahmeen.
way fahansiin inay wadanka u baahan yihiin ay kamid yihiin mujtamaca in ahaan dad oo Pakistan u noqonayo in ahaan miimante marka I don't know. So the way even Kalish Wahana were bottom of the social mobility ladder, wasn't it?
I can speak to the to the other side of the Atlantic. Hakanan jogo. Anigu hanina ka in arkaya inti Somali hakan daraqaq badan yihiin. I myself, I do own some properties here. A lot of my friends do, and we're establishing ourselves in understanding that this here, we've got to show why we've been, to whom a lot was given, a lot is expected. So Marka, we've been giving this opportunity. I'll be a fool to waste it. I would have to actually do something with it. And then they can speak at the same footing. But like, if we don't do that, what's going to happen? Our kids are going to feel out of place, which will be easier to convince them that they're not in their place, which will definitely exile them from a society in which they live in, which will in turn, we see the results there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
True, yeah.
This is a natural progression of things. This is not on Samesana Yamaha. So these things are all linked in other. We have to look at this and say, okay, Meshi and Jogi and Marti and Kuahai, why not Marti, like you have all these opportunities that you can actually do something with. Why are you in other? I'm not going back to the Horn of Africa anytime soon. I'll tell you right now. You understand? Let's just be honest. One thing you don't have the لكن مستقبل كمان سوق right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know the Prevent program that I was talking to you about in the United Kingdom. Anytime.
Well, do you want me to put up the thing and then maybe
you can go through it? You can. Yeah. And I was gonna add.
Let's do that.
Something about the way Muslims obstruct it. There's a big obstruction.
Right. Okay. So I'm thinking this is the one you're talking about. Am I right?
I think I've sent you two. One of them with an example. Yes. So
this is the one, right? Okay.
I think I sent you two, right? So
yeah, you did send me two.
This is an example of Harun, the 9-year-old, watching Daesh execution videos, and the school, intervening, and the result of what has come of that. And the second example is obviously a white kid called Callum, who's heavily involved in promoting far-right material. And the school obviously worked with the police as well, social care, local youth. The problem that we have is the minute the government tries to get a handle on the mosques, the term Islamophobia gets branded around, you see? So the problem that we have is, I think the government needs to have more control over who speaks in these mosques, who, I think you understand where I'm going with this, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So there is an initiative from the government in order to stem out extremism and radicalization. Marka way jirtaa, laakiin we need to somehow embrace it. Anaga Somalia, let me give you another example. Somalia oo kale fiiri. Forget the United Kingdom. Somalia, wiil al-Shabaab baa wuxuu qarxinaa Muqdisho kale. Hooyadiis way og tahay, and she's not going to report the kid. Ma fahantay? Marka not reporting waa wax oo it's very normalized with our community. Ina ceebteena qarsano. The way Khidr was talking, let's pretend it didn't exist. It doesn't do us any favors. Look, this just explains to you how basically stage one, making the referral. That sometimes I wish GMH, جوي لها مشان وقاد لها معناها sometimes المهن. I'm not making excuses, like in قف جرن مسكحة أبدي الغلط ضراء. If you add on top of that a crazy ideology, the end result can only be something terrible.
Yeah.
Marka, I don't know, Marka. When I look at these programs and then I look at Muslims and their constant, the way they want to obstruct these programs, it's a little bit saddening. Wallahi.
So the channel program, is that only in the UK? Is that in the UK? Is that what it is?
This is the UK. This is the UK, yes. So, but the thing is, Muslims look at these programs in a very distrustful way. They think the government is creeping forward in terms of controlling the mosques, and it's just not true. لكن waxaa jiro dee waxay diidan yihiin dee lack of responsibility hadhow
Right.
fiiriya qof baa meel qarxinaya waxay ku leeyihin it doesn't represent us so who does it represent marka how did he get these ideas
That's it. So you see, it says, yeah, basically this shows how the channel program works. It's a voluntary confidential program which operates through England and Wales to safeguard people identified as vulnerable to being drawn into terrorism, right? So there's making a referral. That's the first column. A person vulnerable to radicalization is referred. This could be by a teacher. If appropriate, the referral is discussed at a locally led channel panel. If there are no radicalizations concerned, the referral could be signposted to other services, right, such as social services. Marka support packages based samayan. If there are radicalization concerns, marka waxba ka samaynayaan, a support package is arranged. This may include working with a specialist mentor. Marka mentoring support radicalization risk is reduced by offering a tailored package that could include support with mental health issues, drug and alcohol misuse, education, or ideological mentoring. Marka, this is a very good program. And I'm sure there's something similar in other Western countries as well. We'll just have to kind of look at it. لكن anigu xakan waxaan ka filayaa waa wax laba wax baa isku imanaya. There's the fear of the host place. Coupled with the need for that host place. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we're in a position where you are sleeping with the enemy almost. You know what I mean? In your mind. To a certain extent.
Yeah, I know what you mean, والله.
marka maskaxda dii laga dhaciyay khadra ku soo saxay.
Sorry, what?
Marka waxaan leeyahay hadii laga dhacdiyo war kuwan gaaladan iska ilaaliyo maxay bay kugu sameynayaan waxaasay ka sameeyaan waxay ka qaadanayaan wax baas aad u aragtid at the same time the hooyi aabo they immigrated here to give you a better life bal goranaya marka labada idea and I don't know if it's cognitive dissonance.
There's a clash.
There's a clash صحيح. Let's be honest.
There's a clash. waxyaalo badan ku dhex jira meesha gudaheeda like waxa wallahi fikrad fiican waaye this I see this small thinking thing program waxa u arkaa like events oo kale loo sameyn karo for the Somalians and the public UK oo adduunka meel walba ka joogtid oo kale for example ma fahamtay oo dadka kurtu wada sheegaysid you more knows dadka haddii badankooda fikradan kurtu wada ogaadaan ma ogsantahay haddii hooyooyinka aabaheen adeeradan and for example caruurta gabdhaha dadka dhan haddii wada ogaadaan this event maalin loo qabto oo kaleeto even the UK public dadka wadanka degan haddii arrintan ayaga xataa ogaadaan saa u fakarayna xataa it's gonna be wax fiican inoo noqonaysaa beri ka maalmin naguma imaan karo this clash noolama imaan karo ma fahantay see how the way I'm thinking.
Can I ask you guys a question, the guys in the panel? Okay, so if this episode goes away, it doesn't mean we've dealt with the root cause of the issues. So in a year's time, we're still going to have the same structure. How can we fix Kurigan from the bottom, you see?
From the foundation. From the foundation.
Marka even aniga xataa nomado hadii laga gudbo xataa arrinkan still it doesn't mean we've solved anything, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. What fundamental way and waxan haysta it's at the core of it. Aniguna ina khadra markii hore lahaye anigu waxbayga migil Pakistanidan Arabtan wax dadka kale waxbayga migil Soomaalidu waxay gashay way Soomaaliyan marka Soomaalidaynu intaan qiiqa isku qarino waanaan joojino qiiqan la isku qarinayo waanaan joojino markii in maxaa kaday videogan yar ciyaaraday garan maaye laakiin man arag family amba dad Soomaaliyeed oo meeshii joogo oo leh they were rest in peace in MPO we are not we're against the fact that this happened to you and this in no way represents Somalidini. Yeah, may joogin askiisi meel churchka way tagi karayeen waxay lacagdi isku soo dhawaasho way sameyn karayeen intay dhacday in kalena aadan ma garanayo I'm very ignorant of it, so maybe I'm jumping the gun, But I would like to see that happening. I would like to see the Somali community step up and say to the MP's family, we're sorry. And we're sorry that someone daraskayaga ayaa waxa ku sameeyay. Waliba I'm hearing that this MP was actually one of the better MPs that u hadli jiray Soomaalida ayaan maqlay.
iyo dadka muslimiinta xataa
xitaa muslimiinta u hadli jiray ayaan maqlay. marka waxaad la tusayaa hade amba u hadal amba u hadlinay waa lagu dilayaa. Meeshii conquest waa meesha socota. You understand? So this is I'm thinking, I'm hoping that there's going to be some sort of show of support from the Somali community that will show this MP's family, well, we're sorry, or at least we're there to support you. You understand what I'm saying? Why aren't there any Somalis there? Where are we? marka khadro naadir waxa tiri markii ugu horeysa soo gasho waxa lagu jiray head is the actual essence aan ku dhaqananayo naga sii jeedin waxa xumaa markaan iska aragno dadkeenu head niyo waan ka sii jeesana waxa dhanaa let's sweep that under the carpet ba'adana, and that is not the correct approach. Waayo wixii la qariyo boqodan baa ka dambeeya la yiri Soma
waa beenta maya aniga markii hore hadalka koow saas iga fakatay laakiin ma taqaanaa
maxkamadii ma saarnid saaxiibow maxkamadii ma saarnid laakiin waxaan uga jeedaa un dadkeen maxkamadii ma saarnid it's all good waxa tiri waa tiri laakiin anu waxaan ka jeedaa dadkeenu fikradaasaan haysanaa fikradaasina meel kuma gaarinayna inaad that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah fikradaas meel laguma gaarayo balaakiin fiir we got to play the ball hatta so society u socdo ma aragtay inkasta anaga dad Soomaali ah wadankii waan deganahay dadkan si u fakarayaan waa u jeednaa within waa ku dhex jirnaa waa la shaqeynaa waa ka mid nahay ma fahantay wax fiican waa naga sheegaan wax xun maanta waa sameynay ma fahantay laakiin waxaan ka wadaa ma taqaanaa okay for example oo kale aniga hadalka saas iga noqday waa saa ku bilaawo okay ma fahantay laakiin maanta maxaan sameyn karnaa anaga ina isbaraarujino kow tan kale event ala sameeyo sameeyo xataa kama wado waxaan ka wadaa ma taqaanaa si macnaha dadku u ogaadaan waxa anaga nahay for bigger scale ma fahantay waan ku raacsanahay obviously ninkaas reerkiisa in la raaligeliyaa iyo waxa
deena qof dhanbaa dhintay
aniga u taqaanaa hadalkayga hore hawsh laakiin hawsh aan
may saaxiib waa caadi may waa caadi saaxiib
it's okay waxaan weydiiyay labadiina something I'm observing Firia. Two of the UK's two Somalis, like the two most famous Somalis in the UK, Firia, were Mo Farah and Rage Omar, Firia. labadaas nin dafisha Twitter code waxay ka hadlaan DP World Somaliland iyo waxyaabo kale ka hadlayaan ilaa hadda xataa hal one thing kama maqla labadaas
imikaad fiirisay
those two guys Rage Omar iyo Mo Farah في DP World Somaliland قضية Somaliland waxaas oo ka hadlaan mooyane arintan dhan.
Do you think they feel the need to do that? Ma u maleysaa?
I don't think so wallahi. qofka ma taqaana markuu aniga hata for example oo kala ku sameynaya fiiriya qofka markuu haysto ma aqsan tahay for like aniga hada I got a lot of followers in Instagram ma fahantay okay markuu haysto qofka ma taqaana above 100 or 100,000 markuu haysto wallahi bila tala messages iyo risk ma fiirinayo so for example Mo Farah iyo Rage iyo ma fiirinayaan arintan risk
hayde laakiin mayday waxaad leedahay marka news ka may soo gaarin baad leedahay
abu maya waxa ka wada laakiin waxaan ugu soo jeesanahay waji ahaan waxaan ugu soo jeesanayo dadka ala shaqeynayno bari ma fahanta hadii ogaadaan ninka Soomaali waa waxaas qalad ka sameeyay qalada lagu fiirinaya ma fahantay waxyaalahaas anaga nagu soo jeesmanayaan waxyaalahaasna wallahi ma aqaan ana hadda bari wallahi bilaay ma aqaan wallahi bari saa sameeynaayo niyo waxaa
adigi waa baqanaya imika
wallahi ma baqanaya
ma baqasho ma maxaan uga jeedaan cad you concerned why Somali baa tahay inaad
I'm concerned laakiin fiiri wallahi bilaay hadalkan maanta meesha ma soo dhaxgelino ma ka hadlino arintan I just seen in the news ma ka warqabin waxyaalo kale iska fiirinay waa iska soo dhaxgala meeshan hadda ma fahantay arintan waa ku dhex jira
laakiin
waa wax arin hadda bari ani isugayso ma fahantay hadii ma taqaana meesha imaado waxa weeye ogaada ninkan inuu Soomaali sameeyo meesha anaa kaliya Soomaali ka ah ma fahantay wajigaas ani fiirnay raagi iyo sir Mo Farah kama hadli karaan kama hadli qal lama gelin maxaa ani marka bari markii la weydiiyay ma taqaanaa arintan macnaha I'm just gonna play the way they play ma fahantay
which is
like ignore it. For example,
yeah, Khadar, yo, man, you're my guy. I think what time I'm gonna say personality avoidance.
For example, that's why markii hadalka kow aan soo galay meeshaan I was harsh on these people. Ma fahantay? That's why I say we're gonna sweep under the brows. By wax ogahay brio kale hadii wajiyaasha in igu soo jeesta like for whole UK hadii igu soo jeesto. يعني ما هذي كرا for certain extents واسكع لنا قفكي ما فهمت الرجل وحن لا listen man عايز كده قال لا ما فهمت يا أنت أنا قبوا حنا ما فهمت هذيك اللي ما فهمت لكن هذا الكلمة هو قفك مركو جار متقنا for like I know for fact قف مركو جار like more famous مركو جار أريمان كما حلايو.
Okay, so why do the market Why do you condemn Israel local fear Israel local why do you condemn dadka noocaas oo kale maxay Israel laga hadlaan wadamada kale markay wax ka dhacaan maxay ka hadlaan nin Soomaalidu wax sameeyna maxay
waxa keenay mataqaana waxa keenay u maleynaya aniga waxa weey isku xirnaanshada iyo kala faanka keenay wax ma fahantay for example oo kale fiiriya hadii oo macnaha aniga aad u taageersanahay waxyaalahan qaarka la yiraahdo mugsantahay familada Soomaalida dhan intii la isku wada yeero invitation siiyo meel la imaado arintan oo kale this program oo kale la tuso ay kama fahantay oo hadana loo sheego askartii event kana jiro waxaan waa ka warqabnahay this MP police kan dhintay waa ka xumnahay familkiis macnaha saas in shield loo sameeyo wallahi si kale ma arko ani
no matter waxaan ku dhilahay radicalization that's a whole show in itself somehow.
Yep.
What way it's not see there's Coco Jasmine terrorism hatta it's not radicalization it's very
it's serious
it's a serious big topic marka awada waxaan ka hadlaynaa waxay tahay ninkan Soomaha oo Soomaaliyeed waliba I even heard Abiy was an advisor to the previous Somali prime minister. Yeah.
What?
Yes. We'll come out. Or nolosha ka dhacmaha. We come from very
educated family and all that. Huh?
Exactly.
So we can no longer use poverty and all that. Okay. marka mental health man ku cogsanaa marka mental health man aynu ka sugayna because it's going to be something bro you know what I mean and this is the thing waxaan anigu aan doonaya waxa weeyaan hade inta kidaro kale brito wala maxaan ku raday shaqo tagaya marag Soomaa that he's not uncomfortable at his place of employment
this wallahi bila for 100% sure ogahay in su'aashaas bari ugu imaanays ma fahantaanay
yani kama ugu jawaab hayba ima anaka la practice garaniyo it's okay anaka la practice garay brito wala marka lagu weydiyo qadaro in wiilkii in xidhibaanka UK delay departmentka UK ga delay ma Soomaali buu ahaaye de maxay dadkiina ka siiyanayo maxaad nu dilaysi maxaad oran
waxa la weydiiyay ma taqaana fiiri arin kala ku sheegaya I just like to be a real guy aska ma fahanti laakiin fiiri maalin horeeto midaa shaqada bilaaway ma fahanti he was a white guy white weyn way brother ma fahanti okay ani meesha waxaan joogaa sanad meelaas ma fahanti waa iga yaqaanaa everything ninka markuu soo qaaday ninkaas niyo I don't know wallahi laakiin niyo maxaa horta fikir suuba wuxuu weydiiyay ma taqaanaa waxay yiri meeshaan ka shaqeysaa I was here for nolosheeda uu sheekay meeshaan ka shaqeynayaa wuxuu yiri I don't have problem with you I have problem who doesn't work that is in this country marka waxa taaganahay warniyo dhibkaas adigu ku haystaa laakiin aniga maxaa macnaha igu sheegaysaa aan taagnaa ma fahantay macnaha dadkan already waxa ii sheegaysaa inay macnaha isku xiran yihiin fikrad ahaan wax kasta ma fahantay
haye
oo anaga aad listada ugu hooseysa aan joogno macnaha I'm trying to provide for my family in it
right
yeah
right
I'm trying to show up for the work every day regardless ma fahantay if I'm feeling ill or everything
haye
ولكن that's what waxaan ka wadaa mataqaanaa ma haysano dee anaga ma haysano ma facdo su-aashaas kaletaan ugu imaanaysa I'm have a problem with people doesn't work markii la yidhaahdo anna ma ka jawaabin waxba ma dhihin hore le ugu sii socda ma fahantay waan
haye
ogahay beri for example oo kale inay haddana su-aasha imaanaysa MP-ga mataqaanaa waayo anaa weydiiye for month ka hor anaa weydiiye waxaan dhahay nin baa jiro oo cadaan ah ma dhihin laakiin waxaan dhahay nin baa jiro oo dadka baaba ka dhigaya cadaan baaba ka dhigaan taaganahay
haye
markaasuu wallahi billahi wuxuu yiri he was wax kale ugu madhay waxaa la yiri mataqaanaa he was really coward aliyiri that's it he took his life man he was really coward aliyiri macnaha waxaa laga dhigay mataqaanaa ninkan inuu nool yahay in kale xataa ani waxba laakiin anaga hadda saa uga hadlayno dareenkan aan yeelano ninkan wuxuu sameeyey aan ugu dareensanahay maaragtay ayaga macnaha ma fahmaysaa labadu the way
wax kalena way jirtaa walaalayaalo and I want to add this point as well. The newspapers that we have in the UK, the tabloid newspapers, the Daily Mail, the Sun, they also need to sell, so
صح
they're gonna run with this thing wax kasta oo ninkan ku xiran
xagga sensationalism absolutely
yeah markaasna way ku jirtaa shakad laakiin you gave them the weapon somehow that's it
صح
you gave them the thing the weapon itself marka if they run with it and they sensationalize it and they say
I always yeah no I always remember kelmadu abahay guuri berigan yara skokan maxaa ku daya I screwed up in a class all right so then he had to go to skokan to tagay yada markaas uu ilaha low he had a grown up moment with me you know what I mean yeah ha wali markaas uu gidi dhigiso I want to always be on your side really but lakin dadkii bad ii jabinaysaa weedi like dadkii ayad ii jabinaysaa so you're arming them against me I want to be on your side I'm your father but lakin dadkii you're giving them ammunition against me why are you doing that my whole perspective changed my lenses changed and I was thinking yala tayde ma waxa taminaysa qarqari bas leedahay yala arkin abiyo hooyani arkin that's the mentality you're in he kind of kicked me out of that mentality into responsibilizing me in what I'm doing even no one's there because I see the long-term results imika wilkani wa shani labaatan jir and as I understand it he comes from a well-to-do family or he was you know in a big house good education
maybe I'm ignorant like Ali Harbi Ali does that sound too Somali Harbi the name
Harbi how Somali and ha
really
Harbi how Somali and it's a Somali name at least as far as I can know
okay his father Halira Harbi Ali Kulana that's definitely Somali but when I first heard his name I did wax kala umaleeyahay
yeah no I mean whether his father was a politician with a lot of money or he was living in the projects it doesn't matter you know what I mean it doesn't matter because Somali nimadi way ku talaalan tahay either way so this is the thing anigu ka fikirayo waxa weeyaan wiilkan oo waalidkii xakan la yimaadeen waayo dhulkeeni uu burbursan yahay you know what I mean and he's here in the West he's 25 years old like coffee I'm sorry 25 years old you're not a kid
man
new in tahay oo fikiraya tahay we can like so allow all of the miskinkum maskaxda laga qabsaday and all that okay that did maskaxda laga qabsanaya 25 that you got you know some deficiencies man
but if we talk about moving forward is our community comfortable reporting extremist behavior
good question adaba taawal isweydiin doonaa khadar faarax oo heerde beritoole su'aashaas waa lagu weydiin doonaa you can count on it my brother waxaa lagu oran doonaa lagu weydiin doonaa haddaad qof aad garanaysid Soomaaliya doonaya intuu wax sameeyo maad sheegi lahayd mise maad sheegi lahayd bal ka jawaab
maxaa way baxaa tiri su'aashii ugu socodsiisay qof
Soomaaliya tahay soo maahan beritoole dadkan cadaanka ku soo eegi doonaan baa tiri marka haddii lagu weydiiyo su-aasha lagu weydiin doona waxa weeyaan war ay dhegeyso in qadaro nin fiican baa too shaqaysatay laakiin hadda qof Soomaali aad garanaysid intuu wax plan garanayo intuu wax sameeyo hade ma soo authorities kama soo sheegi lahayd ma maad soo sheegi lahayd hadii lagu weydiyo maxaa oranay
ninka muxuu plan garanayaa marka waahay for example this is ready you know
okay ninka imika waxa kula hadlay magaciisi Cabdul Abdoogan midida galiye MP-ga ayaaba kula hadlay ka soo qaad suma fahmin wuxuu ku yiri qadaro ninka MP-ga midiya soo gelinaya Britole ma sheegaysa mise sheegi maysid maxaad sameynay
aniga لايتك هاد وفرتارون والله waxa sameyn
lahaa كيف فكر ميمي ادك فارين كيف فكر لسه the way لكن my brother عيسى كوبرا how you doing bro
ninka wala waaya
noo soo noqday ii war عيسى
واجوغا اصحابته وان اسلام how are you guys doing
سلام صاحبي
good to see you
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته salaanta islaamku ayaa ogaada
nabadu korkaaga ahaato ciiso
adiga nabada korkaaga ahaato saaxiib
ideelkeeda maanta waxaan sameynaa heeda waxaan tababaranaa walaalkii khadro Britole su'aalo badan la weydiin doono ayaan leenahay xakan kale ninka la joogtay tababaro oo wacaynkaad ugu maxaa korday ugu sheegi lahayd Britole marka lagu weydiiyo are you okay or would you report a Somali person wax plan garanaya ham sameeya what do you say well it's open bohole Isa Khadar come in tell me what you guys think. And even the audience, if you guys can put it in the chats, would you report them? Yeah, because I want to محيدي قد ما جيت محاتري هذيك اللي يخص لي هاي محيدي
يا
كعلي صحيح مو مغلي
أكو دائما تقرأ وحي يقص some radicalization يوحسن أو tell it straight away ما فهمت
okay
certain other things I won't tell it
Marka you would report some things but you wouldn't report other things
sasa dila waydi aniga obviously isma dhihin leen ilaahay waxaas igu keena laakiin ma taqaana certain things I will report certain things and certain things have to be really serious things I have to blow my mind off
Return of the King. This is our a resident jihadi weyan. Loose lips sink ships This is too funny.
Okay, inta ilaaliwa markaas. The king, I can't say certain things.
One second. Can we further explore that?
Yes,
why is it that you will not report him? What's the obstacle?
No, but
what
what's
is it that's
issue?
stopping?
Issue like
the issue is ninkan qof buu dilaya. The issue is dad buu qarxinaya. The issue is people are going to lose their lives. That's the issue.
If I knew it, I would report it. But like you put me on a blast, bro. Like in Philly, I would do that. I would do that. Don't can police
No. Khadaro. Dadko dhamma weydiinayna there. So if you don't, if that's what you're gonna say, that's what you're gonna say. We're not putting you on blast. I don't want you thinking we're putting you on blast.
No. لكن أنا متقن وحسير صديقها وشيء له وحسير صديقها هالها شغل أو متقن عن معناه وحيالك لا وافهمك.
ملك لب جاي تجي منه ويلكن ومديد جلي أيها كلاسه هالله شارة ولا ما درت ولا كلاسه هالله حكيلي خدروا ساعة أساسا كنت للجرا أنت بريتو ولا نيكا مديد سو جلي ما حد سمعني ما تسوي شيء مس شيء مس
والله أدي واحد سمعني لها تسمعني لها صاحب
Okay.
You know ماذا أنا خطرة
كسر هذا
هذيك you're bringing it from an extreme example والله new nomad هذه وحاتري قف ما صد له forget that ورأتوب كوف فكرها يبغى from below from the beginning if you notice any type of extreme thoughts where he's saying that non-Muslims should die even in words to me that warrants reporting alone. It doesn't even need to go to that. You can't know that.
Absolutely. لكن they won't make a difference. عيسى أدوكم حاسم لهاد عيسى ويدين عيسى محاسم لهاد. What would you do? So do عيسى.
What is this related to? Is it something to do with what has happened in London, or
Yeah. So in London, there was I think he's a conservative MP, member of parliament, that got stabbed, and the reports are coming out saying that they arrested a Somali man accused with the crime. markaas sheekadu waxay socotaa qof Soomaaliya haduu kula soo hadlo ambaad garanaysid intuu wax xun uu ku tala jiro intuu sameeyo maad sheegi lahayd mise maad sheegi lahayd?
But is it 100% clear that he's the one who's committed that crime?
All allegation at this point is, I think this happened on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Friday, I think it's Friday. I'll have to take a look at it. So these are still allegations. Thursday, was it Thursday?
Yeah, it was Thursday.
Okay, so it was Thursday. So it happened on Thursday, Neha. So it's still all Thursday, allegations.
Still allegation.
At this point, yes.
So if it's allegation, then allegation cannot be exactly that person has actually committed that crime. It's still allegation.
Marka
if I make an allegation against you, it doesn't necessarily mean you've committed the crime. Once you've committed the crime and there's evidence that you've committed the crime, then I could say this person, this and that should be done with that person.
Right, but I'm talking about prevention here, not after the fact. I'm talking about prevention. Qofku haduu kula soo hadi lahaa ayaantii ka horeysay ayaantii waxaan sameyn doono uu ku oran lahaa yo Isa, I'm trying to do this and that and the other, mad soo sheegi lahayd before he had a chance, mise mad sheegi lahayd. And I think this question, some don't know maxaa galno, lakin this is a question we are going to be asked and we're going to have to answer as sincerely as possible. So let's talk about it.
No, if that person was going to commit a crime, whatever that type of crime it is, and he said to me that, look, I want to go out and I want to kill someone, is an MP, right, or something like that, right? MP.
Yeah, a member of parliament, yes.
Member of parliament, and he's going to do something like that. Of course, I'm going to report it to the police.
Okay, so there you go. Beautiful World here said, I do not have psycho friends. Okay, so that's the premise, right? I do not have psycho friends, but if one of them told me that, I wouldn't report because I do not know if he will really do that. So
if someone,
so I don't know what so maybe the guy is gonna say, what do you mean so good, without actually meaning, and then you reported
if someone wants to do, sorry to cut in, new nomad, but if someone wants to commit an act of that he's going to threaten to kill someone, you have to report it. It's no if and but. I'm not, even if it's my best friend, don't do it. If he continues and says, look, I don't care, tomorrow 2 p.m. I want to go out and I'm going to kill that person, I have to report it to the police, or else you will be also responsible for it as well because you already knew about it.
Silence is complicit, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, silence is complicit.
Got it.
Okay, this problem, we don't trust institutions. If a Somali mother or father, if they're neglecting their children, we don't feel comfortable reporting them to the social services.
We have a problem being snitches in general.
So what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to explain to people, it doesn't have to be the police. You can go to prevent. You can go to different organization where the person is not necessarily criminalized. And then we always have this thought, this is we jump to conclusions. Like, it doesn't mean that. So I'll just we can't.
Even if you report it, police, they're not going to do anything about it either way.
Okay.
Okay. So that's interesting. That's interesting.
London, I live in London.
Okay.
The police are not going to take action. They're going to wait the security services will, what do you call it, look into this person. By the end of it, this person has done the crime, and then afterwards something has happened, and then afterwards the newspapers are going to write what do you call it, a newspaper saying, oh, this person has killed this person, but they already know about this person already.
Yeah, but the main point is when everything becomes unraveled, you will be the person that reported it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
as opposed to being the person that didn't report it. So you're not reporting it only for it to be stopped. You're reporting it also to let them know that there's an actually a crime that's going to be in progress and things like that. So then the egg is going to be on their face, not yours. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't follow through with what you told them. It's simple as that. But Somalis are conservative Muslims. Islam is a non-negotiable for them. They will be unapologetic till the end, no matter what one of them does. It's sad, but it's sort of like true too. What do you guys think?
But even you look within Somalia, I mean, within Al-Shabaab, they've all got mothers and fathers somehow. They can be reported, but even within our own country, we're very hesitant to report Al-Shabaab or whatever. But what the brother said regarding Islam being a non-negotiable, I put up a verse earlier on. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Like between Muslims, I don't think from a young age, Muslimin bannahay, so we keep our stuff in-house, and we don't take it outside. Marka, there's always the other. There's always a duality between us and them.
The us and them is strife, man. That's the thing. That concept of us and them. But the only difference is that's the thing that we seem to always be missing. We're the ones that came here. Marka, it's kind of like I see that as something that leads to, like, in terms of thinking people, I'm thinking at our most vulnerable, we got let into a place that was more comfortable, more secure, and all of that good stuff. How do we then turn and do that? And I'm not saying it's all of us. Obviously, this is a very, 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 very small minority. And there's all kinds of factors, from fathers being in the home to single mothers to, anyways, there's a plethora of issues in the community. The explosions like this, affects everybody. And I hate to say it, but there's a lot of people that actually try and stay away from Somali communities.
True.
But Somali,
it's true.
You know what I mean? Yes. You can't really escape who you are, man. You can't run away from yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you are you. So whether you're with the community or not, you will be looped in. So I know the way I see it anyways, the better approach is to educate the community in better handling these situations. You understand? My approach is never to put anything under the rug, because the truth will always surface, regardless of what it is.
Can I add one more point?
Absolutely.
What's sad is the actions of these people will then affect us. You see, earlier on tonight we spoke about the two-tier system. So unless you speak out or unless you push it back, it's going to make your situation even more unbearable. So it's in your interest to actually push back. You know what I mean?
It is the more intelligent approach, isn't it? That's the more intelligent approach. What are we supposed to do with things like this? And Coco Jasmine had asked earlier, was there another time that this has happened, the Somali does? Yes, there's plenty. There's a kid that started stabbing people in Ohio, here in North America. There's another kid that I was showing earlier in Germany, a 24-year-old Somali. You know what I mean? And sometimes I think you know this, Buhali. I watch Speaker's Corner. like this kid, like Somali waha ugashana, like sakhran sana, and then he had no t-shirt on, and he was running away with his hand in a bag, like against some other guy, as if he was gonna stab him and shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm like, yo, man, like at some level, the law is gonna have to deal with you.
This never happened in London only once. It has happened twice actually. This is probably the second time actually. There's another guy, another Somali actually, who's done similar thing as well. He went in the underground and started stabbing people as well. This is not the first time this has happened.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and then you add 7-7 to that, which included one Somali. So it's a long list.
I'm telling you, man. Like for me, it's kind of like I see what's happening. I see what's coming. A lot of victims are going to be left in the wake of this, and the victims are mostly going to be. And let's talk about it, but like, I think it's going to be our sisters and mothers, man. Because yaga Somali nimadooda iyo Islam nimadooda but saas loo arkaya right away wala arkaya.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody knows if the Muslim man, no one can tell whether he's Muslim or not unless he makes it clear. But the hijab, it's very, very clear.
They are getting like what they at, and so I feel like this is actually going to affect, like it always does, it seems, Somali women.
But like in Nomad and in certain scenarios like this, when there's a problem like this happens and there's a threat where Somali girls will wear the hijab, certain scholars that I've learned from, in Egypt especially, they say that if there's a risk to your to your life because you're wearing a hijab or niqab, just take it off. Don't wear it. In that essence, until things cool down.
Right, but do you think Somalis in the UK will follow that?
Well, if they don't want to follow it, they don't want to follow it. But
in fact, they get stronger. Now it's about Iman, right?
They get stronger, yeah. This has made me stronger in my deen. What? Nigga, like we're trying to protect your life. Like what the hell?
It's a test.
It's a test, like we know how we know how Somalis are, man. Let's not act like we don't know how we are. We know how we are. Like no, I ain't taking off my hijab. And that's fine. Like Kinsey, we gotta look at the big picture. In Return of the King, you guys are sensationalizing this. I'm afraid I don't think we are. Unfortunately, I don't think we are.
I don't think we're even speaking about it enough with condemnation.
Exactly. We're not even talking about it as nearly as much as we should be talking about this. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
the interesting part is that when I was listening to LBC, I don't know if you guys know about LBC.
Yes,
I know about it. I'm in Canada, but I know about it.
Yeah. So when they were talking about this incident, they never once mentioned Somali person. The only thing that they've mentioned was that this is a political problem. The way that politicians are talking, causing problems, and causing problems in the within the UK, causing anger within the ethnic minorities. That's all they were talking about. They never mentioned, for once, a Somali person done this, which is quite interesting.
Right? So what's going to happen is people are going to start using this the way they want to use it, right? Like Kate and Pat here said, anti-Muslim extremists will also get stronger. And on top of that, these motherfuckers can pass laws.
It's true.
Not in London, not in the UK. Trust me, that cannot happen. Because if that happens, they know there's going to be more problems that are going to happen.
In Adero, I'm not putting anything past the UK, man. Like maybe you know it better than I do. Like I'm not putting anything past them. They're probably going to become like Poland pretty soon and say, "What?" I
don't think that will. I don't think that will happen.
Okay, well, I mean, then you have more faith than I do. Humanity, whenever you push the right buttons, you're gonna get a response that can be predicted in most times.
Like Tommy Robinson in America,
Tommy Robinson, what do you think he's doing right now? He's actually trying to run for office.
Like he knows the script.
That's the thing. So we can say this is never gonna happen. But like the proof is in the pudding, like we say here in North America. This is gonna happen. Tommy Robinson is trying to get into Parliament, and what do you think he's going to do?
No, but like that will destroy the civilization of United Kingdom. If an extremist group comes in, that will destroy United Kingdom, and they're not gonna do accept anything like that. Trust me, it's
I
not
know,
gonna
but Tommy
happen.
Robinson is not an extreme group. He's actually on his own.
Of course, he is the
He
far
used to
right.
be in the EDL ayuu ku jiri jiray laakiin wuu ka baxay wuu ka tegay. He's not in the EDL anymore, bro.
No, he's not.
So a lot of people are actually backing him, and you know who's backing him more than anyone else? Well, brown people Nasika or that have issues with Muslims in their own countries.
No, I can understand them having issues.
It's a lot of motherfuckers that are, you know what I mean, that want something to happen.
No, but like if a Western government goes to that extent, usually it collapses. It will collapse. Trust me. There's going to be a lot of problems that are going to occur for them because they're going to look at their image from other parts of the world as well. If the UK goes to the extent, Poland, forget about them because they don't have no power within the EU. Not the EU, but the Western governments. They're just they're a lower level of European governments. But like, I'm talking about Britain. Britain, if it goes to that extent, it will collapse. Trust me, it will not. What do you call it? Stand with 2 feet.
Okay, maybe, and I don't think so because, like Caden Patton said here, wasn't Brexit all about anti-migrant sentiments? Like, I mean, it's already happening, Asa. Like, it's not something that it's it's happening.
And you can see the problems that's happening because of that.
Sure, but like it's not gonna stop. I want us to be as Somalis. Either because the question is not either you're a part of this society that you chose to be a part of because you flew here, but you're not. If you're not, two things are going to happen to you. We're first not going to let in any more of you people in here, and second, you're not going to be a full citizen. There will be other connotations to your citizenship. I
don't have a problem with
it. I see it as something that's very plausible and possible, bro. Let's be honest.
And a few years ago, I've just wrote it when I was at home. I believe a person of Somali or Muslim or fikirka argagixisada aaminsan, whether it be Sharia law and all that kind of stuff. Into su'aalo laga weydiiyo ka hor intuu visada soo qaadan. That's what I believed at that time, and I still believe that. If he believes that qofka hadduu diinta Islam ka tago inta la dilo, qofka hadduu zinaysto inta dhagax lagu dilo, all this kind of stuff.
Sharia law, basically Sharia law.
Exactly. I've written down. I still have it. You know, I've wrote a long. I think it's like 3-4 pages.
Share that with me if you want to, if you can. I would love to see that.
Yeah, no problem. I will share it with you after.
Yeah.
Because I've got loads of books in my library. I have to find exactly where I placed that. No problem with that. But like my ideology was that anyone who has fikr where he has the ideology where a person who's what do you call it, who's a Muslim, who has the ideology that a person who leaves the religion of Islam should be killed.
Okay.
Visa should not even be allowed. That's one thing.
Okay.
That's another thing that revokes his visa. And Hadu Amisenya was the other one, and into Gursa Afarhas, Eco Ogolan, like those wives, if they're not acceptable to it, then what do you call it? His visa should be revoked also as well. But there's more things as well that I can't remember that I've written down.
Right, but then we're in the realm of human rights and all that good stuff too, right? Like this is a good list, and I probably would agree with all of most of it. But Lakin is how plausible is that approach?
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
What if I say I don't believe any of that stuff, but I do believe in that stuff? How would you know?
That's difficult. I do agree with you. That's difficult. But how many would say They don't believe in that.
To get into
And
the
I'll
UK,
Quran as well. They'll be asked to touch the Quran to swear that they don't believe in that.
You're serious.
But I mean, hey, look, you know what I mean? Like
That's all I can
he's
come up
thinking,
with.
he's
Not come up
thinking
with
of
more ideas.
baby, cool. I feel you. He's trying to come up with ideas. You're being hard on him, bro.
No. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna ask. I was also gonna add. Do you guys not think? The broader issue is we have a crisis in identity. Somali. A crisis in identity. A crisis. Markaad joogtid the UK ama the US maxaad tahay Somali baad tahay ma American baad tahay ma Muslim baad tahay how do you see yourself hadda fiiriya waxaad arkaysaa I think you know this dumarka Soomaaliyeed fiiri wax xuquuq ay ku leeyihiin ma leh Ingiriiska adeyna macnaha because ayda iyo ninka isma qabaan officially ma fahamta adiga official isma qabaan so waxay qabaan their own separate system within a system within a system. But she can't even get.
You're talking about the Sharia courts in the UK?
Yeah, I'm hinting at that. Waxaa arkay laba qof oo separate. Waxaa arkay laba qof oo dowladda been u sheegayso. Waxaa arkay
ninkan waa boyfriendkayga basically.
Yeah, ninkan marka we're not citizens annaga waa waxa weeyaan just inuu wax dhacno inuu wax dilno inuu wax boobno
waa beehof baan nahay niyo waa hoogi ba
sidii ku nool lahaa weli
habeen wanaagsan walaalkay dib noogu soo noqon dee khadaro yaa noo soo noqon naader ka qaado walaalkay thank you okay walaalkay bye
marka ninomado anaga we don't believe in the law aan ka wadaa law ma aaminsan we don't have any respect for the law.
Right. It's the law. Like, do we need that law, right? Like that law, like somehow, is something that we have to respect. Like in more respect, and I know we respect people. That's why the law becomes very, very, very heavily interpreted, depending on who's in that position. The law is a suggestion. It really comes down to the person in that position. That's why the positions of power are very coveted in the Horn of Africa. You understand? Because qiimo ma saarno wixii aanu qorannay dastuurkii aanu qorannay qiimaha ma saarano qiimihii waxaanu saaranaa hebel waxa ka jooga oo kursigii loo dhiibay which is kind of a backwards way of looking at things because what the hell is the point of having a dastuur if you're not going to abide by it and that's the thing like we need to actually do a bit of an overhaul in the way we approach these things, man. Every Somali that lives in the Western world that believes in Sharia law above secular system should be deported ASAP. He's straight up like that ASAP. What do you guys think of that?
It's a tough one. Are you gonna put them in what concentration camps? How
two things. Two things. And this is the definition of cognitive dissonance. Two opposing things should not be housed in the same brain. You understand what I'm saying? Like
you say that, but I disagree with that. I think it can be done, but it's called you compartmentalize it. So very intelligent, like wow, barbaric. They put it in a very nice little box in their brain. No, you
know what it is? I can't go arcade it. And Isa, you know what I mean? You know my sentiments about this. I can't go arcade head another. It's sort of like a horror movie. Like it's a romantic comedy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's essentially that's what but it is though. It's like a horror movie disguised as a romantic comedy. That's what we're looking at right now. So the thing is, I feel like that boy right now, like that man, I shouldn't say boy, that man that did that horrendous act in London, in the streets of London. And on top of that, this guy was actually going. You guys call it a surgery, but I guess it's like a town hall meeting, right?
That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. You meet with the MP. Yeah.
Constituency. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You look like so that's how you know an MP is engaged in his constituency. I'm okay being on the hot seat. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's a go hasamina nikin gilgiliye Somali you had it. But I do square fikir what is going to result out of what I'm doing here. I don't think he had the capabilities to do that. Honestly, I do the deal. He's not even functioning in the correct mind state to make decisions like that. But like the repercussions of his actions. He doesn't even care, to be honest.
And a lot of people also look at it as an attack on democracy somehow, because he didn't just kill any random person. He killed a member of parliament. So there are obvious motives behind targeting a member of parliament.
Right.
So it's something. I don't know if you heard of the new nomad. I don't know. This is the second MP to have been killed in the last couple of years. There was a woman called Jo Cox. I don't know if
Cox, yeah. And that was she was killed by a far right or something, right?
Far right extremist.
Yes.
Wow. At the beginning of the show, I showed you the two kids. You remember Haroon, who was watching the ISIS material, and the other kid, Callum.
Yeah, it was a teenager whose teacher became aware of his involvement in promoting an extreme far right Facebook group.
So the two movements, they share a lot of things in common. In terms of how the result of their actions always turns into killing.
Right.
Yeah.
But look, Return of the King Hukuri, I'm here to fact check my Lost Galjiris. I love this guy, man. If I wasn't here, you guys would believe Somalis had something to do with 7/7 attacks.
I don't know what to say with him. He's a resident joker somehow, yeah.
He's a resident joker, man. But Virtual Humanoid said, brother, you need to come to Clubhouse. By the way, follow me on Clubhouse under the name Kennedy, because when I go jihadi, account ke new nomad or jihadi.
Really?
Yeah. So I had to.
No way.
Yeah, bro. I had to get a new account. I got reported. You know, they can in Clubhouse you can get reported. So my family. So yeah. So my Clubhouse name and Kennedy. Yeah, or Kennedy Malamala. Kennedy
I'm just shocked. Like you're not even that active.
I'm not that guy. I'm not even that guy.
I don't get it.
I think sometimes what happens though is that if you're in a room that's discussing a contentious subject, they will report you anyways. You understand?
Don't they need a justification or anything like that?
That's the thing, man. Clubhouse is fairly new, so these guys are not even, you know what I mean? They're not even trying to. I sent them an email and I'm like, yo, I didn't do nothing. What the hell? Yeah. So there you go, man. But if you guys want to find me on Clubhouse, that's the name. Ken Adid. So Ken Adid. And it's a beautiful Somali name, by the way. Ken Adid. It's my nephew's name. Ken Adid. If you really go back to the Somali lingo. Katina don't know how and the handcuffs. So handcuffs refusing mofo. That's what that means. Kanadid. Yeah. So that's my name. That's my name on Clubhouse. So yeah. So
وهابيين السلفيين شباب يا كوحاستني.
Like a new nomad.
That's crazy.
So if I bring it back on a more serious note, حتى ولكن خضر معناها the way ومعناها his hesitancy in terms of reporting معناها extremist views ده waxa u baahannahay inagana ka shaqeyno Soomaalida Soomaalinahay.
Absolutely.
inaanu معناها we don't what am I trying to say? That we don't allow people that have extremist views to continue in their ways, and then later on, then how do we feel? So that can,
Yes.
I believe, if you report it, then it's in the hands of the authorities. They wax ka sameynayaan, it's up to them. Qofkaas haduu wax sameeyo ama wax qarxiyo ama waddo wax dilo, adiga you've done your civic duty. Halahaad sameey karto waa samaysay.
صح.
But at least step one should be, at least let's report these people. Let's even masajidina, we don't report nothing. I think masajidina, nobody knows who's speaking in our mosques.
Neil, it's even worse actually, Buhal. It's actually even worse than that. Sometimes I hear, okay, hablihini hijab ka hidnaba imika ladulmina ya mahai, and there's somehow some victimization that comes out of us doing the harm in the first place, which is a kind of like twisted sort of way to approach it. When are we going to stand firm on our 2 feet and say, yo, my community messed up on that issue? We need to actually say that we're not all, because the silent majority never made any changes in life, man, in the history of the world. The silent majority has only just existed. They have to be now the ones that step up and say, Somali wana hay, wiilka Soomaaliyeed wuxuu sameeyay ma taageersani. As a matter of fact, I understand ninkan la dilay intuu family lahaa, intii dad jeclaa uu lahaa, asxaab uu lahaa, shaquu hayay, meel buu ka joogay, maxaan ku leeyahay in communitygiisa meel buu ka geliyay, xumaantiisa iyo wanaagiisana haddii la iska dhaafo, shakhsi bin aadan u ahaa oo jira.
It's not just condemnation. You're showing the
your humanity. We've got to start showing our humanity, Neil. And somehow I feel Somali dinu if I show humanity, is as if I'm showing weakness. As a matter of fact, I was just saying this the other day, man. The people that show their vulnerabilities the most are the strongest people.
It's true.
Because I know I'm not perfect. When you get I'm sorry about this, and I feel responsible. I'm sorry. Even if I wasn't there, even if whatever the situation, I will feel responsible. That's how we should look at this, is what I'm trying to say. Because if we don't, it's gonna add to the anger, man. It's gonna add to the anger.
Like in Noma, 25 years old, Garo, that's not your responsibility.
Maya, I did not say it's my responsibility. I will feel responsible. I'm not saying it's my responsibility. I'm saying I'm feeling responsible. And the fact that I'm feeling that responsibility is going to make me act to basically say, this is not how I raised you. This is not how I raised them. These are against our beliefs or something that will show the world that we're against it. But the silence is complicity, Sahib. So people are going to assume that since no one came through and said something, then we're okay with this happening.
No, I agree with you on that one. For example, this guy, this MP who was killed in, unfortunately, it's a sad news, which is going to affect a lot of people because this is political. No, he wasn't a but like he was part of the MP. All it delay is going to have a big effect on the British government.
Yes.
Even within the politics, a lot of politicians didn't agree with him on certain things, but they respected him. Right. It's going to have a huge effect.
Backlash, right?
On the government of United Kingdom. This guy, he's done a lot of great things. From what I've done research on, this guy used to help a lot of people. Even Somali
that's what I heard.
That's the sad thing. Somali or sharciga haysanin dalkan wa caawin jiray. This is absolutely shocking. Qofkaas Somaliga uu sameeyay. This guy, he helped a lot of Somali people oo dib haystaan waxyaabahaas camal dhalinyaro badan oo sharciga haysanin oo hadda maanta sharci haysto due to this guy helping them out. And he helped a lot of other ethnic minorities as well. This guy, he's well-known politician. I can't remember his name, but he's a well-known MP who done a lot of great work. You know, he used to help a lot of people. This guy, so it's going to be a lot. It's going to be, a lot of people.
He has done no favors for Somalis, especially Somalis in London.
Like, well, can we be honest though? Ninka mukudilin in the name of Somali, in the name of religion, Soma.
These are the allegations again, right? That's what they're saying. That's what they're basically. I'm not sure, but that's. And you know what's funny? Perception is reality in these cases. You understand what I'm saying? So whether we know it or not, sure, that's how everybody's going to interpret it. You understand what I'm saying? Nikani Allahu Akbar biyiri, wahabu delay Islam. That's how it's going to be told, right? And I can sit here and go over all of the Quranic and Hadith verses that are supporting that, but that's not the point I'm trying to make today. The point I'm trying to make today, we've got to come to a time of reckoning and actually say, what did they say? We have got to do something. Either we're going to stand up and say, Somali, but that's not what it represents. That's Somali, and and take part in the community, actually give back to the community. Why waxaa la arkaya qof la soo dhaweeyay oo markay lacag seestaan oo iska socdaan, like you're gonna feel used after a while, right? You got to give back to the community that gave you so much to begin with.
That's if you believe that you belong to the community. That's if you believe in a type of British. That's if you believe in a type nin muwatin. But if you don't believe that,
right?
The buradnimo, you bob, hadid, khiyantid le kun noosha Soma. Why Somali ba una what the color is going to be Somalia, we're all going back somehow. That's let's get that there. See. So Nino Madwaha Shigas was sahlakin. We need to reevaluate where are we? How do we see ourselves? Redefine the Ama Somali or Somalia and go back. What the God that's a suggestion.
You know what I mean? And you know what's funny? Every time I say that or I think that, are you Tommy Robinson? Like you, what are you? Far right.
حتى مقدشة كلا في الصومالية لعل توقف الجانب نوع ما لهاي, and he trashed حركة الصومالية, he trashed the وطن كيني ما حنقول لنا نجا. Oh, sorry, you have the right to speak on this land. So كبح بمش كل لين.
ما في سؤال أقول لها محمد كيف أنا صار.
What's true is true, man. It's true.
So why? Yeah, what's true is true. Exactly. What's true is true. So محاينك ينودي دي. Virtual humanity. The Somali dude made life a lot harder for Somalis living in England. First the pirate stereotype, and now the jihadi stereotype. I don't think it's just now the jihadi stereotype. I think we've had that for a minute. But Lakin, I hear you. That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to be stereotyped, essentially. Right? That's what's going to happen. So how is Sahib Kinni Hadad how is he going to approach this? Because I would want to know, right? لبناني وحسميه وقف صومالي يدلو ده صاحب كي لبناني قاموا ويدينه حكوا وراي هذوك مساسو كلاته هذوكنا.
It's true. I actually wasn't interested in. I didn't want in. This is how you answer the question. This is the question. I actually wanted to know, what do you honestly believe about these things?
Right.
I don't think we got to the bottom of that. What do you? Okay. I just don't know how to answer it tomorrow morning. Yeah, so it's difficult.
I know that's what I see a lot, but like, and it's not even about Khidr. I swear I've seen this in a lot of my people. We have this very, very this big tendency to actually employ avoidance. You know what I mean? Avoidance. I'm not going to deal with it, so therefore it's not there. marka taasi maskaxdeenu adaan ka tirtiri weyno or oran weyno warde no we're going to have to deal with this one way or another.
Do you know what's the most dangerous route that we can take right now? The most like useless route that we can take right now is that we bring out the victim card and we play the victimhood type of rhetoric where we say to people, oh, they're targeting us because of Islamophobia, they're targeting us because we're black people, they're targeting us
all of a
because we're
sudden a lot of
poor.
Somalis Jareer this Jareer la ayaa imika noqon doona madow. Watch this.
So if we come with the victimhood card, no, then it means you haven't accepted responsibility. If you come with that type of rhetoric, so that's the worst possible.
Hi, Bohole. What other cards do you think people have? Like what other card is how could I
Run to check. Be honest. Say okay. Be truthful. Be on. Isn't that what Islam is meant to be about? Being truthful. Why don't you practice it now? Why don't you?
I humbly disagree. But yeah, I think that the believers in Islam would say that. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't that what
I think one thing that that could have been done properly was ninkan oo la dilay dad Somali oo meesha lagu dilay intii flower u dhigaan oo media soo hostaagaan intii kasoo horjeedaan waxyaabaha camal.
Yes.
That would have been a great thing.
Show support Soma.
Absolutely, because waa qalad waxaan waxa lagu sameeyay ninkan, and it's absolutely horrendous attack lagu sameeyay. Waan kasoo horjeeda aniga. I do not want to see anyone be killed in that kind of way. حتى هادو فكرة kasoo horjeedo. It doesn't matter if he's against your religion, even if he mocks your religion, no human being should be killed. Of course, waxa waa just intellectually lala hadal, debate him. You should never kill a person, even if he mocks your religion. ما فهمت. Just speak with him in a respectful manner. Si fiican ula hadal, even if he doesn't accept it. Just say to him, look, okay, no problem. Let's live in peace. ما فهمت. But like انت اللي تدل قف وساس عمل لو تدل مدل قليو this قفك الضمير كيس ما هو أقبلي كرو حس عمل. A person who has like conscience, or what do you call, who has a good heart,
humanity
will never accept something like that. Just وقف حنونسن أو فكر أو أرجحس كل حاجة مسكحديسة كلية واحد عمل أقبلي كرو.
لكن صار لو قدرت سيبا لو قدرت تراد لكن that's the question at hand. سيبا لو قدرت تري how is this person going to, how could they not see that? How are they not going to see that? Like, how do we do that? How do we
it will take time. It's not something that can be done overnight. It will take time.
That's the thing. And
yeah, go ahead.
But here's how could I in Bohali, I'll let you speak to it. This is on the Telegraph on Kafra. It's basically overall Muslim population. So you want to take us through this?
Yeah, I was just gonna like had the theory. وحتى هاي Somalidu waxay 10% of the Muslim population. So waxaan like minority of a minority of a minority of a minority of a minority. Marka it doesn't make sense to play the victimhood card. Me fahanti. Dadka waxaa loo baahan yahay aaminsanahay inay responsibility qaataan, and had the theory waxaan ugula daray aniga I believe waxaan ku dhex jirnaa the Black African, Caribbean and Black British. It's very theory. If you look at the total 100%, waxaan ka nahay like virtually nothing. So I'm at 10% left. Of the 10%, حتى وحوية maybe 1% of that movement within the 10%. So the reason why I shared it was it's easy to look at this graph and play the victimhood card. Say, oh, I think I'm being targeted because I don't have the necessary infrastructure, the necessary what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, the system to
support
speak.
System,
support system. So the media, وحن كان like what the Daily Mail, the Sun, this is easy. This is easy work. This is easy.
Easy picking,
it's easy picking. They're not gonna talk back. When you're a minority, you shouldn't really معناها وحيبها إنها تسميه. حتى يهودا كل فيري يهودا وضد أخيار فهنسن. They play their position. They're involved in every fabric of the UK معناها society. محكمة هي كجران. بوليس هي كجران. وضد آمنسن دين تودا. إيو citizenship إني معناها إني إسخلاف يعني ميفانت. It's called إيمانين. And like we have in our heads, we have two separate identities.
That's the problem.
One that we show to the world and one that we have at home. You see?
It's crazy near home. How could I? That kid no arcade no. Marka avoidance can buy. How could I? Anigu and this is actually the poison itself. Us avoiding the subject at hand only exasperates the frustration.
It's true.
Somali qof aad ku leedahay bal egbahoodo aan ku leeyahay warbahoodo seegida warbahoodo eeg waxa sameynaysidniyo adiguna aad iska ka dhigatirisid.
No, it can't continue for a long time.
Like I'm gonna get frustrated at some point. So family. Marka frustration kasine, how is that going to get how is that going to get manifested? Which is where, like, I don't care what people believe, but like in the mama hijab hidden.
She's a target.
She's a target. She's got a target on her head, man. I don't care what you believe. Like, that's just facts.
And you know, in modern society, everybody condemns. The Saudi Arabia condemns Israel. This country condemns this country. Condemning, it's not actually. To condemn is not something difficult to do. So I don't really understand.
But yeah, no, but it is difficult though. It is difficult though if you think about it.
Why?
It is difficult in the sense that there's something stopping you from thinking that. There's something stopping you from getting it to that next level. So so then at some point you're gonna have to deal with this something, whatever that something is.
I think the ATM has condoned this anti-tribalism movement. I think they're the ones who've condemned this. They put it on what do you call it? They've done that.
But they're very, very small.
Yeah, and obviously we'll need more, but that's a start. I commend them for doing that. I commend them for doing that because someone's got to take the lead behind it, whoever that person is. So even with their little following, they should be saying that. So I'm gonna see the big platforms on Instagram and YouTube, Somali platforms, and I'm telling you, that's going to define the way this is handled. This is shit ain't all sweet, man. Like it's on top of that, there's gonna be a court and whatever, right? People can easily go Islamophobe this, Islamophobe that route, but it's time to look ourselves in the mirror. Let's take a long look at ourselves in the mirror. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true.
Absolutely. You know, the only people that haven't condemned this yet, that I haven't seen, is without the.
I don't think they will.
They haven't talked about this. The only time they condone something is when a girl is not wearing a hijab. Or that's the only time they speak up.
There's not a problem. I mean, I don't have a problem. The problem is normal Somali boys and girls who are not radicalized, who are also not condemned. That's a little bit more worrying for me than with that movement.
But like with that, they have a higher position. They're close to a politician. What they've been given today, but they don't speak out. The only time they speak out is, gabartan maxay hijab u wadan weysay, maxay timaheed usoo saartay, this and this and this and that. That's the only time they speak out.
Dadka sunta qaybiye ma sunta ka hadlaya. Come on, man.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
That's why I believe they're the worst people or mujtama' Somali ku nool. I'm not saying all Wadad are like that. Sheikh Abdul Qadir Kishki is one of the greatest Wadad that I like, that I follow a lot. I don't know if you guys know Sheikh Abdul Qadir Kishki.
I've heard of him, yes.
Yeah, Sheikh Abdul Qadir Kishki, one of the greatest Wadad. He lives in Canada, like you and Nomad.
Yeah.
He speaks out. I think you mentioned previously a girl called Farhiya something. I can't remember her name. He spoke out for her. He spoke out for her. He's one of the only Somali, and also Ali Rage as well. Ali Rage is another scholar, but a lot of time Wala Gali say also as well.
Saeed Rage Ali Gali.
Not Saeed Rage, not the one who wears the qamis, the Arab qamis and all that kind of. Put him to one side. I don't even like listening to him. I'm talking about Ali Rage. I think he moved to Canada, but he was living in Kenya previously. Right. Ali Rage.
Okay, hey.
Yeah, he's absolutely smart and intelligent as well. But a lot of the Wadadinta, you know, that's the reason why, you know, if you look back into history of Somalia, Wadadinta, they used to be the low caste of Somali society at that period. Wadadinta waa lagu qosli jiray. Nin wadaad oo khamiis carbeed wato, and he comes to try to tell you about anything about religion and stuff, waa lagu qosli jiray waqtigaas. Somalida. Yeah, this is going back to 30 years I'm talking about. It's not like 100 years ago. This is 30 years ago.
So, but isn't that like an easy explanation? Isn't that to blame wadaadada kaliya? Why can't we look anaga dhexdeena Soomaalidan nahay? Maxaa maalin walba uun why do we outsource all of our problems to wadaad? If there was no wadaad, would be 100% noloshan caadi ahaa lahayd, wax qabiil ma dhici lahayn, wax problem arki lahayn. Is that how we're going to present it?
Absolutely, no, I don't agree with that. Absolutely, I don't agree. I don't believe in Wadadinta to take personal responsibility for people, Somali people's problems and all that kind of stuff. But the way Somali things has been structured is through the Wadad.
Wadad, could they have a place of position of power in the bulshada dhexdeeda? Waa runtaa weeyaan Isa. I mean,
exactly. So Wadad ka meesha inta hadii laga saaro dhibaatadan iyo waxyaabahan camal, only the Somali people can relate to it, that go through it. Wadad ma loo baahno. Ma fahamtay? Wadad is not necessarily important. I'm thinking about my mindset is in the same mindset 30 years ago. How Somali was.
Malaysia, Indonesia, waa laba wada Muslim, wadaaday haystaan, mana isqarxiyaan. So say ku dhacda marka.
The reason why in Malaysia that's how it is because they put the Wadad to one side. They didn't put they learned from the Wadad. They asked the Wadad. Well, the same thing as how it used to be in Somalia 30 years back. Wadad, if you look back in Somali history 30 years back, you only ask him, okay, gawar markaa guursanayo ama haduu dhib ka jiro wadanka ama like for example if you have like if you want to get married, xanuun haduu ku haysto wadaada u tagaysa. That's how it used to be in Somalia. Malaysia is almost similar to that. They don't ask every single thing in related to life to a wadad. Ma fahamtay? Dhibaatada haysta Soomaalida waxa waaye every single question in life they want to ask wadad first. That's the problem that's happening. Marka wadadka waa muhiim. You should be placed in one place. Wadadka is not the most important person in the Somali circle. Qof kasta aqligiisu isticmaali karaa.
Yeah, so the reason why I brought this up, aniga waxaan rabaa, I want us to accept at least hadday sheekadan ay caddaato oo ninkan wuxuu sameeyay sax noqoto nin Soomaali yahay oo lagu caddeeyo in that we have a deeper conversation about the anagu what is happening with us Somali dan nahay, because wiilkan situationkiisa haddaan iska dhaafno wiil kale baa imaan doona, wiil saddexaad, wiil afraad, wiil shanaad. So when are we going to have the conversation macnaha waxyaabaha the root cause of these issues? When are we going to talk about that? Me fahanta Isa?
Absolutely. Waa muhiim inta laga hadlo waxyaabahan camal. And aniga like I said, aniga Soomaalida ka imaanayan Soomaali meelahaas camal dowlad kasta oo westernka intii su'aalo weydiiso waa marka hore ka hor intii visa qaadanin. That's what I believe in. Tusaale, for example, it's not going to be easy, but like as you mentioned previously, they could lie about it, right? But certain questions has to be asked. What do you believe in? Okay, do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? Do you believe in this? If they answer yes, af Somalia lagu weydiinaya xataa af Ingiriis ma aha. Af Somalia lagu weydiinaya. Haddii tig siiyaan waxaan aaminsanahay qofka diinta Islaamka ka tago, okay, that's one strike. Haddii aaminsan yihiin inta maxaa la dhahaa, and the first question was qofka hadduu diinta Islaamka ka tago inta la dilo, that's one strike. Haddii aaminsan yihiin qof dhagax lagu dilo, that's another strike. Ma ka soo horjeedaa maxaa la dhahaa qof Soomaali hadduu diinta Islaamka ka tago ama if he has a different ideal, actually that will go to the same question. that I asked previously. But
what do you do? What do you do about the Muslims that live in the UK who hold those ideas? What are you going to do? Deport all of them? Are you going to deport 90% of the Muslims? Even
qof kasta oo kasoo horjeedo oo dembi galo, and I believe they should be deported. Absolutely. Hadda wiil aan saaxiibanahay oo Ethiopian ah wuxuu haystaa Britishka citizenship uu haystaa. wuxuu rape gareeyay ama kufsaday gabdho. Hadda xabsi wuxuu galaya 14 years. After that 14 years, he's going to be deported back to, no, sorry, not 14 years, and 8 years. And then after that, he's going to be deported back to Ethiopia. Marka, qofka hadduu sharciga dalka uu ku nool yahay dembi ka galo oo dembi weyn ah, xabsi haddii la geliyo, markuu dhamaysto xabsigiisa, dalkiisa inta lagu celiyo waayo. That's what I believe in.
Yeah, but what you're saying now, it's very problematic. I'll tell you why, okay? Okay, haddaad dhahdid dadkani oo UK degan asalkooda yahay Soomaali ama Ethiopian ama Eritrean, haddii dalka wax ka halayaan xabsi la geliyaa kadibna deportation la geliyaa, ninka cad oo wadanka wax ka halayo maxaa ku dhacayo? Hadduu wadanka joogayo, it means marka we have a two-tier system. Ma jiro meesha waxaa ka jiro two-tier system oo dadka two different ways loo dhaqmo. We're going to lose. We're not going to be in terms of equal in terms of rights. So you're going to have to differentiate.
I disagree with you on that.
One second. You're going to have to discriminate between citizens themselves. Adiga wa caddahay, therefore you have these sets of rights. Adiga like wa madowdahay, therefore you have a second class or a different degree of citizenship.
Mama, we could do into the task. I'm not talking about someone who's born in the country. I'm talking about someone who's for example, someone's migrated from Somalia, I'm talking about, or Ethiopia, and he's came to the UK and he's committed a crime. And then that crime is a major crime. I'm talking about rape, killing, and all that kind of stuff.
You get deported even for rape, Hadda? Shakada?
Absolutely, yeah. Will Ethiopian once he finishes his sentence, he's going to be deported back to Ethiopia.
But is he a citizen of the UK?
Yes, he's a British citizen. But like he's going to go back to Ethiopia once he finishes his sentence.
You listen to this. So
it's inevitable. It's inevitable. I don't know why we're surprised. I would do that.
No. I tell you why I'm surprised. Wadanka waxaa ka samaysay treason, for example, ama had at the Daesh, ISIS, you try to blow somebody up, waxyaabaha noocaas hadii loo qofkan citizenship waa lagala noqaa waa fahmi karaa. Laakiin ninkan wuxuu dhowayaa dambiyaa samaysay, for example, meel dhacday, for example, ama meel jabsatay. Citizenship waa laga siiba.
I said kufsi ka hadla aniga kufsi.
Okay.
I'm talking about rape. I'm not talking about like he broke into someone's home or something like that. I'm talking about major crimes. I'll
be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Ninka cadanka haduu na kufsado, what's going to happen to him? Maxaa ka dhacaya?
Dalkiisu joogaya.
Okay, so we have there are different classes of citizens.
No. Same thing that would in Somalia, if it was a secular country, I would expect the same thing to happen as well. Okay, for example, qof Somali haduu waxaas camal sameeyo, kufsi sameeyo, dalkiisu weli joogaya laakiin xabsi la gelinaya. Laakiin haduu sameeyo qof cadaan ah, Ingiriiska lagu celinaya ama New Zealand ama wherever part of the world he came from.
So I'm only British if I'm on my best behavior. If you misbehave, حتى Somali.
Why should you misbehave, first of all?
No, I'm just I think it's not about behaving or misbehaving. I'm trying to understand the concept of citizenship. Qofkan wadankan wuxuu ku yahay qof muwatin. Ma garatay? So okay, I'm just trying to understand your system. I don't know if you can hear me. So yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if we can employ a two-tier system to navigate our world. So what I would say is, for major things like you're speaking about treason, I don't know, you try to blow up somewhere, I can understand that. However, if you're saying you committed a particular crime, based on that crime, you're going to serve some time, and then we're going to deport you back to your country of origin, I don't really understand that. I don't think that's how a citizenship.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Okay, had the Somalia. Let's say, for example, Somalia.
Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Sahib. قف ما صير دويني Harry Anus, is that you? Hello, Harry Anus, can you hear me? Harry Anus, are you hearing me?
He's unmute himself, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you're on mute. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe he's just not there. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like drop off and drop back in. Maybe that'll help. Sorry.
What I'm saying, and Buhale, don't misunderstand. I'm not like a Nazi. I don't have that ideology. But Somalia, let's say for example, Somalia was a strong government, like British government or America. I don't believe it's a strong government. Police killing black people and all that stuff.
Still better than our own country, though.
I would say it's almost similar. Close to similarity.
Okay, let's welcome back Harry Anus. Is that you, Harry Anus? Can you hear us?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you now. How are you?
Welcome. Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
Welcome. Good. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, it was just obviously what happened.
Right.
Well, I just seeing it kind of it made me think that could have been me. Just because I'm also 25 and I was also the third to prevent as well. So it's just kind of I'm just happy my life didn't go to that trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if there's anything you want to ask me, because I was really radicalized as well from the age of 15. I even went Somalia to try and join Al Shabaab, didn't work out. And yeah, now I'm not Muslim for like a couple years now. So yeah.
Okay. You said you on the Prevent program? Did I hear that correctly?
Hello?
Yeah, did I hear that correctly? You said something about the Prevent program.
I can't hear you if you're talking to me.
Yeah, he said, are you talking about the Prevent program? Harry, are you hearing us? Maybe Harry's not.
Yeah, now I am.
Okay. So Buhale's Finance is talking about the Prevent program. Did you mention that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, here you go, Buhale. We have a live.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Amazing. So we were just talking about that, Harry. Can you?
Yeah. So I can't actually hear Buhale.
You can't hear me?
Oh, you can't hear Buhale. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me though? You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. If you can ask him. I just want to know his experience. What was it?
Yeah. So basically, Harry, Buhale's Finance is asking you, how was your experience with Prevent? Because the funny thing is, we were just talking about that a minute ago, the Prevent program. So
I must have missed it.
Yeah. So basically, let me hear. I think I still have it here. Yeah. Like I was sharing the screen earlier about the Prevent program and how it works and stuff, right? So let's see if you can recognize this a little bit.
Okay.
So this is it. Like I'm sharing it on the screen. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so is this the one that you were basically? How did it work? How did it help you get out of that mindset? Because this is very important information.
So this happened when I was in secondary school. So I would have been about 14, 15.
Okay.
So what happened is so I was referred to Prevent, and I had like this caseworker who would come to the school, like take me out of, just like like out of the class even. We'll have like a discussion, and it would just be things about, oh, like for example, like your religion and like what's going on. So they didn't actually, they didn't talk about religion straight away. It was more because basically I wrote something in class, and it was about write a letter to the Prime Minister.
Okay.
About things you might want to change or things that you want to happen. So I wrote something that was basically, I said, pull all your troops out of Muslim lands, or you're gonna like deal with the consequences.
Suffer the consequences, yeah.
Yeah, and so obviously the teacher at the time gave that to the principal, and that's how it started. So that man would come periodically, and then afterwards another man came in, and he used to actually like, because I actually got excluded in secondary school for like intimidation, but it was all related to basically me becoming more religious at the time. Like I completely changed. It was like a complete 180. I was constantly giving people da'wah. I was, whenever I'd come home, just 24/7 watching Al-Shabaab videos, jihadi videos, listening to nasheeds. And I actually even was I used to associate with Anjum Chowdhury and those as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was only 16.
Oh, I know about
so
that guy.
that happened.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it's
wow, man. That's
in the end, so in the end, what they tried to do didn't work. Like they would take me out, go to a cafe, like buy me meals, talk to me, but it didn't work. And then eventually I did go to Somalia when I was 16. And so I went to Somaliland, but then I kind of had a change of heart at the time. But I still kind of had that, bit of like, I was still indoctrinated in a way, right?
Right.
So
this
changed my mind.
I'm finding this an amazing testimony. You gotta keep going.
Wow.
Bro.
Yeah. Came back to London after spending 6 months in Somaliland. And at that time, I got excluded in my last year, so I came out with really bad GCSEs.
Okay.
So for that year, I wasn't really doing anything. So I was kind of, religious, not religious, kind of going on it, off it, and then I went to college. I came out because I was like kind of suffering with social anxiety and anxiety in general. It's something I still I'm dealing with at the moment. It's better, still dealing with it. So then I kind of flirted with ISIS. Kind of was thinking about joining them because again the indoctrination was always there.
Right.
It
never left.
Even if I wasn't religious, it was kind of, I'd listen to
it was dormant. It was dormant. Yeah, it was dormant.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what happened.
That's
fast forwarding to like I'll say fast forwarding 10 years after that. So I'm 25 now. So just say from 2015 until 2018. So that time I kind of left that ideology. So I was more of a normal mainstream Muslim, right?
Right.
Still Salafi actually. So I need to make that known. But it really was. I just became a stereotypical, like, for 10 years in my mother's basement because I'm a single child as well. So it's kind of more easier for me to just, at that time, stay at home, not do anything, no education, just playing games, being religious sometimes and then not religious. But yeah, that's what happened. And then I eventually left Islam. It wasn't really even to do with these things. It was more of it was more of a other issues, theological issues, and whatnot.
Right.
So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. But now at the moment, life's good, and I'm doing well.
Because you're the same
mentally.
age as the perpetrator of this horrific act. You're the same age. So essentially, like you said at the very beginning, that could have easily been you.
Absolutely. And I was even watching videos that were giving like because there was one, I remember one Al-Shabaab video, I think it got released in 2013, around the Westgate attack mall around that time. And I was still watching their videos, and they were saying, like, showing you how to kill people and, you know what I mean, covertly and whatnot, even get a knife, go out and stab people in the streets, which is obviously what this guy did. And the ones in, I think, London, wasn't it? Like 2017, the ISIS ones?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that really could have been me. And I'm just so lucky that it didn't turn out to be me, because he's 25, I'm 25, it's so, yeah, man.
Two different paths and so closely linked. That's an amazing testimony, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. I wanted Buhale. Can you hear Buhale still, or no, you can't, eh?
Can you hear me?
No.
No, you can't hear me. Okay.
Yeah,
Isa,
I can hear him. I can hear him.
You can. Okay, Isa, can you talk? I'll see if Harry can hear you.
Yeah, I knew what could you
Okay,
Harry, amazing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Harry. So you're not able to hear Isa or Buhale, right? I guess you're only hearing me.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna ask you to do is hop off and hop back in. There's something wrong with the audio when you came in, I guess. So hop off and hop back in, and maybe because I want these guys to also engage you in conversation. So hop off and hop back in, Harry. That's
man.
That was an amazing testimony, wasn't it?
Man.
He's very brothers. He's very, very brave. Super brave.
Like what he said is absolutely amazing. Buhale, sorry.
No, I was. If he was here, I would have just commended.
Wakan. Harry, can you see can you hear Buhale now?
Can you hear me now?
Is he talking?
Yeah, I'm talking.
Yeah,
can't even hear him, man.
It's okay.
That's weird.
Come on, Mike. You can hear me, Mike. Come on, Giza.
No problem.
What's he saying?
Did you hear that?
Ask me.
Yeah, I guess we'll do that for a bit. Okay. Hey, go ahead, Buhale. Ask your question, and I'll let him
that right now.
No, I was just gonna thank him for the way he spoke, his honesty, everything he experienced, and I'd love to see him more on the show.
Absolutely.
Lots of people.
Absolutely. So Harry, what Buhale is basically saying is commending you for your courage and saying thank you so much for sharing it with us. And I will doubly say that as well. Thank you so much for sharing that story with us. And we would love to have you back on and maybe decipher this in a much more in-depth way, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
And discuss this. But one question that I would have for you, and I think Coco Dasmin actually asked the question as well, is what was it that the turning point? Like because I'm trying to isolate that specific moment when someone who has jihadi thoughts turns away and say, "What the hell?" Right? That moment of awakening. What is that? What is that? How is that?
The catalyst, yeah.
Yo, Thomas Jefferson, welcome, Thomas Jefferson.
I appreciate that. What's
up, bro?
Yeah. So I can't actually pinpoint an exact moment. I think it was just a gradual undoing.
Right.
I mean, the problem is, when it comes to the religion, there is something, obviously jihad exists.
Right.
So I could never kind of, separate Islam with jihad and fighting and whatnot. So I guess it was just that. Like there wasn't an exact moment, I just, eureka, and then it just went away. It was more of a gradual thing, and
that is amazing, though. Still, because something had to happen within yourselves for you to go that different route, whereas someone might not, right?
Right.
So
I would say actually, because I'm quite an empathetic person, like I consider myself, I'm not, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am a, I'm a nice guy, you know what I mean? And I do care about people. And even when I did have that ideology, I never agreed with this like indiscriminate killings, suicide bombing. So what I thought is that I could, join Al-Shabaab at that time. It was just stupid. Join them and say, hey guys, I don't want to do suicide bombings. I don't want to kill like innocent people. You know what I mean? Right. So obviously that would have been stupid. That was me as a foolish, teenager at the time, 15 or 16 or whatever. Yeah, so obviously that wouldn't have worked. But not just that, I would also say talking to other people as well. That, like, obviously I would say I was a Salafi, but I wasn't a hardcore Salafi like the Salafi publication guys.
Right.
Never. So I led kind of counter works to like the jihadi stuff, because I also used to read their books as well, like Al-Qaeda books. So I think that kind of helped. Yeah, because it was kind of Salafis refuting other Salafis. So I was really wary of moderate kind of coconut chocolate Muslims.
Wow.
And they knew that when I was at Prevent, like teenage years, like I would, like, I mean, even if their beard was shaven or like kind of a little bit trimmed, I would distrust them. There was just a level of distrust at that time where I didn't buy what they were saying, because like, you guys are sellouts, like you're working with the government, you're probably on their payroll, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there is a lot of distrust.
If I can ask Harry a question.
Yeah.
But it's funny that it was actually
so Harry,
Salafis.
Because you cannot hear the others, Isa had a question, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take Isa's question and ask you, and then after that we'll give a chance to TJ to come in. Go ahead, Isa. What's your question?
What I was going to ask Harry is, has he ever went into the website of Daesh, of ISIS? I've read their newspaper called Wahs. Until today, I still read it, but it's just a joke.
Okay.
Well, back in the day, obviously, if I read it, how I had their ideology, whatever they believed in. And Daesh is called no, sorry, not Daesh, and Damqash. I think it's called
Damqash. Yeah, okay.
Damqash.com, I think it's called. Yeah, they've got. I don't know if it's been.
Okay, yeah, I think he did mention that though. I think Harry, you did flirt with ISIS, and he did say that, and that he did.
I did.
Yeah, you looked them up on online and all that. Yeah, so he did, Isa. He did.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man. It's an amazing testimony, and you
actually,
know that
I have to say, sorry, Nomad. I have to say, there's something that I missed out. So that I did say, remember, in 2013, I came back from Somaliland, right? So what happened is, the ISIS wasn't like really the main jihadi group at that time. So I obviously I knew what was happening in Syria. So then I was really actually trying to go to Syria at that time as well. So I missed that.
Okay.
I didn't tell you guys that.
Wow. So you were really close. You were close.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So I want to welcome Thomas Jefferson. We haven't seen you in a minute, man. How you been, bro?
I've been good, bro. What about you?
Great, man. Harry, can you hear TJ? Can you hear Thomas Jefferson or
no?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you, but Harry is not hearing other. But I'm also wanting to welcome GMH. GMH, so better late than never, I guess, huh?
I'm sorry. Well,
I can't hear
just got
any
home.
of the other guys.
Sorry.
You can't hear anybody else, eh, Harry? You can't hear anyone else, eh?
No.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like maybe it's the Yeah, because everybody that's coming
had
in.
the other joke.
You know what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna completely leave and then come back in. Yeah.
Yes,
Give me a minute.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay, do that.
You can't just hear me, bro.
Yes. Go ahead.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, yeah. What's up, Thomas? Yeah, sorry about that.
Not much, man. What about you? I'm
Good, man.
Long time no see, everyone.
I know, man. We missed you, man. Who was telling a joke right now? I missed a joke.
For real, man, I love jokes, man. Tell us a joke.
No, man. Someone was saying I got a joke, but maybe it was GMH. GMH, was that you? Kaftanka.
May I just got in here. maxaa lagu kaftamay?
Ma garanayo. See, this
Mama,
is how...
أنا اللي كفتمي and the other guy Harry لا دهاي.
Haye.
I was always saying the reason why he cannot hear us, the other than you, is because Al-Shabaab توسعته.
Yeah, okay. الشباب ولد وسعت النك.
GMH waa lagu salaaminayo.
Yes.
waan iniga qaaday walaalahayo iga raali ahaadaan ay
wallahi it was a serious, like, we
was
met
a good
brother.
Yeah.
We just met a brother who previously tried to get into Al-Shabaab. He said he flirted with Daesh, and so we're just trying to understand.
Well, here he is. He's back. So let's see. Hopefully, he can hear you guys.
Serious, I didn't serious one.
Can you hear them, Harry? Can you hear everybody else? Well, maybe you guys should talk.
I don't know if you can hear us. What about Harry?
Yeah, something's up with Harry. I can't even hear him now. I can't even hear you, Harry. I can't even hear you, man. Malaha warunti Isa. Al-Shabaab bawli daw sa'atanik.
Yo, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, what's wrong with the UK, man? Manhattan, bro, over there. Like, it's always the Somali UKs, bro. Like, what's wrong with you guys, man?
Here we go.
Jefferson
No, bro, like, always, bro. It's always the UK, bro. Bro, if they're Muslims, bro, they're like extreme Muslims. If they're Tulgoin, they're extreme Tulgoins, bro. And Lagandi Hadan, we Hadan, bro. It's crazy, bro. Like the UK. I don't know what to say, man.
Thomas. All we can do is talk about it right now, man. Like,
I know, bro. It's crazy, bro. I heard what
Are you
happened,
saying
bro.
that doesn't happen in America, dude?
Nothing happens in America, you know. God bless America. That's right.
You're asking Thomas Jefferson. Don't forget, So GMH, I don't know if you heard about what's going on in the UK, but that's what we're talking about today. I don't know if you heard the news, but it was reported that it was a Somali guy, a 25-year-old Somali guy that actually stabbed a member of parliament of the Conservative Party in the UK.
Allegation still.
Yeah, I heard. And I actually was someone told me their identity, and so I'm not gonna say who they are or where they are, but it's someone who is well known.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. His father, I think, is also a political figure.
You read my mind, you know, man.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm confused, bro. What's the point of killing someone in Parliament, bro? Like, you're gonna go to jail, but allegedly, but. Like, why Parliament, bro? All the places, you know, why not rob a bank or something? Why Parliament, bro? Like, that's the least thing. Yeah.
From what I've heard, like you mentioned, Nino Mad, his father is in the politics in Somalia or something like that, right?
Yeah, Somalia. That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. That he's
usually, you know, politicians in Somalia, and you know, عيالكو argagiximo. You know, have you heard of that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Majority argagiximo. Okay, yes, there is one particular and what's his name? I forgot his name. Ali Warabi or something like that.
Okay.
In Somaliland. Nothing to do with Khabila or anything like that. Yeah, don't take it wrong. But that guy in Somalia, Ali Warab or something like that.
Yeah. What about it? Faisal Warabi.
Faisal Arab. I can say
Warabi. Come on, man. Get it together, man. Come on.
So, I do apologize. I'm not trying to mock his name or anything like that. But when I hear the name, it's just crazy. But anyways,
the name says he's not fucking around.
His son was extremism or from what I've heard.
Really? Okay. So what are you saying? Like the political figure, Somali father, is gonna make terrorist kids? Like, what's the link here?
No, I'm not saying that all politicians make what do you call it, terrorist kids, but some of them, they're not aware of their kids. But usually, you know, when you look at the politicians, عيالكوذا they take care of them. ودما قربه يجيان. They study, they go to Oxford University, Cambridge University, and they study, and they become, what do you call it, politicians afterwards.
Right.
Like, I'm a bit surprised how this guy, Unagan, or Willie, he became an extremist. That's something that doesn't make sense. Usually,
maybe he did it in rebellion against his father. Who knows? That's what we're adding out there. We don't know, man.
Nino Mado, what was I saying? Our Ninki, Dr. GMH, Alden Kudahan, where is he? Where is Michael Bahanya? GMH, I wouldn't have something to do with the radicalization. Can has to another UK or a crisis of identity. I would want to prevent program or head to a counter radicalization program. But it requires, I think, its own entire show on معناها the way the youth get radicalized. iyo waxaan anaga aan ka sameyn karno hadaan nahay dee shacabka Soomaaliyeed ama waalidiinta Soomaaliyeed. So waxyaabo badan baan rabnay GMH and awada ka taaban laakiin we weren't able to touch on those things.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to join earlier on, but like, yeah, this is what I know. I think it's a lot of the issues haysta bulshada Soomaalida is mental health related, whether they are in Africa or in the diaspora. So I think and we don't know like anything about his health conditions. We don't know, like, I don't think you just get radicalized just because of ideological things. I mean, you have to have some sort of like your logic and your critical reasoning has to break down at a certain level for you to do something like this, or like waxay Soomaalida ku sameeyaan in Somalia, or even what we kama hadlayon kuwani like xag jirka argagixisada. But all of Somalis, the things that we do on a daily basis that is normal for us is really like it's a very obvious that there is some sort of like societal ill that we need to address, and I think it all stems from mental health issues.
Yeah, no, that's very true, and I think we can we did have the Somali Salafi episode where we delved into it, in terms of the whys and all that. So that we do have that episode on Somali Minds as well. Callie just made me laugh. She said, we need to take a leaf out of New Nomads, Rer Henny Somalis. Rer Henny Henny means a Hennessy, I guess. They're chill. I find this to be true. I'm not going to lie. I find that the North American Somalis, you know what? Let's not even do that because it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. You know why?
It doesn't matter wherever you are. New nomad.
Yes.
It does not matter. Like
it doesn't matter.
Manifestation of like and this disorder or this dysfunctionality may differ. We can do in one place it may be that kid who did that thing. On another place, it may be a little kid who blows up himself in Mogadishu. Another place, it may be another guy who rapes a 7-year-old in Hargeisa, or like, so it's all over. Like, so like really, like the thing that worries me about Somalia is like when we really think that there is a group that is better than the other group. I think we're all on the same boat.
Do you think what problem can it spills onto other facets? It's not it has a knock-on effect other aspects. I feel that way. It's a rotten apple.
Right. No, absolutely. Harry's back. Harry, can you hear us now? You have a mic, Harry? Oh man, Harry, where has it? Like you can't hear him. Nobody else can hear him.
Nobody can hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Harry, for some reason, bro.
Could it be listening to us? I mean, like
he might be hearing us, but I have no way of knowing it. How about you put it in the back chat, Harry? If you hear us, put it in the private chat and see if we can figure something out. You know what I mean? Or the brown people when you meet them, man. But anyways, we'll hopefully get them to sort it out. Yo, Bohale, I'm glad that you and Return of the King finally made amends. Return of the King. Peace. Peace markas. Return of the King no of course Galjit is gonna laugh to that, but I'm glad that we're coming together and actually see family. As long as we're talking, we're not fighting. Remember that. As long as we're talking, we're not fighting. You know what I mean? But I want to say, guys, unfortunately, it's already 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
I got to bounce. But and maybe we each take a turn and say what we think of Somali future keda, how we can avoid this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? How we can avoid this sort of stuff. How about that?
Okay, no problem. Horta cawada meelo badan baa ka taabanay, and I think anigu waxaan ku dhamay lahay waxay tahay ficilkan oo foosha xun horta haddaan nahay dadka Soomaaliyeed, we need to definitely accept macnaha dee wixii dhacay, and we shouldn't run away or avoid taking responsibility dee waxa ay sax yihiin oo waxa la sheegay dee sax yihiin. I think the worst thing that we can do annaga waxay tahay inaan dheelno the victimhood card oon dhahno it doesn't represent us, and we don't know who he is. Thus, I think people become more distrustful of you. Marka, at least aqbal, and this also leads to bigger questions. And waxaan haysto a crisis of identity. Hadda wada new nomad iyo walaalka Ciise waxaan ka hadlaynay, if this continues in the future, waxaa ka dhici karta a two-tier system for dealing with citizens Soomaa, dadka cadaanka in si loola dhaqmo, dadka ajaanibkan in la siiyo a different tier of system, because waxaa laga hadlayaa deportation. Marka ninkani wuxuu sameeyey can affect us. Marka anu waxaan dhihi lahay just let's broaden the conversation in our community and accept getting responsibility, and let's try our best in xalino before things get worse.
Very well said, Bohole. Thank you so very much, Sahib. Isa, kusoco Sahib.
aad iyo aad umahadsantihiin walaalihii qaaliga eebahani barkeeyaan leeyahay marka hore all of you marka hore waxa waaye Soomaalida waa muhiim qof kasta fikirkiisa hadduu wuxuu rabo ha noqdo, mulxid ha noqdo, masiixi ha noqdo, muslim ha noqdo, agnostic ha noqdo, hindu ha noqdo. kolay Soomaali oo hindu weli ma arkin, laakiin qof kasta fikirkiisa xaq u leeyahay ama diintu wax uu ka aaminsan yahay xaq uu leeyahay. That's what I believe in. And horumarka Soomaalida waxa waaye intii noqdaan dad aqligooda furan marka hore, intii iska ilaaliyaan waxa waaye dagaalka, qabyaaladan intii iska ilaaliyaan iyo qabiilkana ahay aan kula taageeraya iyo waxyaabahaas camal iyo kan intii iska ilaaliyaan azoob. Soomaalida waxa waa intii noqdaan dad aqligooda furan oo fikiraan oo ka fikiraan waxyaabihii maxaa la dhahaa ay rabaan intii ku horumariyaan dalkooda iyo dadkooda. xogaaraaliga noqdo halgab ay ahay caawin marka coronavirus ma haystay marka hore. And anyways
eebaa ku caafiyo saaxiib, eebaa ku caafiyo.
waa ku mahadsantahay saaxiib. waa muhiim waxyaabo badan aan ka bartay walaalkeena qaaliga marka hore. Harry waxa waa is just a reflection of who I was. ma fahamtid Harry eebaa ku barakeeyaan ku leeyahay. waxaan jeclaan lahaa dhalinyar badan oo adiga camal oo isbedelay oo sida anigii adiga saan ahaan jirnay oo fikirka wahaabiyiinta iyo salafiyiinta iyo argagixisnimada fikirkooda haysteen intii kasoo baxaan fikirkaas oo aqligooda isticmaalaan oo ay dhihiin qof diinta hadduu ka baxo inta la dilo. It doesn't make no sense waqtiga hadda ku noolnahay. qof diin ka baxo inta la dilo, it doesn't make no sense maanta. Soomaalinimada ka muhiimsan diin marka hore. diintaada hayso, it doesn't matter whatever you want to believe in. horumarka Soomaaliya ka muhiimsan iyo Soomaalida oo dhan meeshii rabaan ha ku noolaan, Djibouti, Somaliland, Puntland, Jubaland. Soomaalida oo dhan intii noqdaan dad fikiraan oo aqligooda isticmaalaan oo horumarsiiyaan dalkooda iyo meeshii ku nool yihiin. أنا waxaan jeclaan Soomaaliya oo dhan intii noqoto hal aniga reer Puntland ahay laakiin weli waxaan aaminsanahay Soomaaliya intii noqoto hal ma aaminsani inta la qaybiyo Soomaalida Soomaali oo hal noqotay aan markasta ka fikiraa aan jecelahay walaalahay oo dhan waan jecelahay meeshii rabaan kasoo maxaa lahaa ka baxaan it doesn't matter to me laakiin waa muhiim Soomaalida intii noqon dad isku xiran oo aqligooda isticmaalaan oo xanaaq iska ilaaliyaan qof hadduu kaa fikir duwan yahay ha ku xanaaqin isdeji ka bax naso ku soo laabo aqligaaga isticmaal la dood markaas ka bacdi because waxaa Soomaali badanaa jiraan oo ku caynayo oo aflagaadeynayo laakiin ha ka xanaaqin isdeji don't get angry be calm laakiin waqtiga qaadanaysaa taas ma aha wax oo fudud it takes time you have to learn you have to educate yourself you have to master what is called and I can't remember exactly and emotional emotionality gaaga intaa xajin kartid waay marka hore you cannot be angry with people who have different ideology to you dadku caanaya waa jiraan yes absolutely markastaan la kulmaa laakiin aniga hadda waqtigan ku noolahay hadda different to how I was before marka Soomaalida waxaan u rajeynayaa guul intii noqon dad arrimahan hadda ka dhacay London camal qof haddii la dilo oo hadda ra'iisul wasaare oo politician u ahaan jiray qofkaas camal waa muhiim Soomaalida ku nool UK-ga intii u soo baxaan oo ay tusaan dadka ama media-ga ka soo horjeesan yihiin arrimahan camal taas aan kusoo gaabina
aad iyo aad baa madsantay ciise aad iyo aad baan kugu mahadcelinayaa okay yes Harry, did you hear all of that?
Yeah.
Oh, great success. So that's great. Now okay, Harry, it's up to you. We're just rounding up right now, brother. So give your last few points and we'll be closing soon. So go ahead, Walalo. By the way, I want to thank you. And Ahlam, you're late to the party. You're like GMH. But welcome, Walalo. So Harry, go ahead, Walalo. Round it up for us.
Yeah, so there's not much I really want to say. Now I kind of got everything that I wanted to say out. So I saw the stream, I was like, this is, I think my experience would have been good for you guys to know, like where these guys are coming from. I kind of related to this guy, obviously, because he's 25, I'm 25. If my life took a different path, maybe that could have been me today. So yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is,
you cut off. Maybe it's just me, but you cut off.
I went to the gym today.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
So what I'm scared about is like hate crimes, retaliation.
Right.
So when I went to the gym today, it might just be paranoia, but I saw a few more looks and glances than I usually do. And when I went to the shop and when I went to the park as well. So maybe, I don't know, because I spoke to my mum about this, because she knows I'm also an ex-Muslim and she's fine with it. And I was like,
it's great to hear. It's great to hear.
Yeah. So Hoya, you know what? I think when I go out, I'm gonna see more looks, more like dirty looks, maybe even maybe a word here or there, like an insult. So maybe I'm already looking for it, so I see it when it's not.
Right.
I know, because the hate comes usually against females. So I'm kind of scared.
Because you can see it on the females, that's why. Yeah, you can see it on Hoyo.
Exactly, they're visibly Muslim, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'll just say, you might have to, like everyone watching, just maybe, send a message to Hablahana, your mom, your sisters, your cousins.
Be careful.
To be, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. By the way, I want to really thank you, Harry, for your intervention and sharing your story with us. And like I said in the back chat,
I think
Yeah, you're doing
tell,
well,
but
bro.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, you're doing super well, man. You're doing great. You're doing
Thanks,
great.
man.
And the more
Appreciate
you
that.
come back, the more, you know what I mean. Yeah, حفظها كنا قلنا. It's all good, man. You thank you for taking your courage in your hand and sharing that with us. That means a lot to me personally, and I think to all of us. So thank you for that. And I'm glad you sorted out the microphone issue, and next time we'll be able to hear you properly. So I want to welcome Thomas Jefferson. But before we do, I wanted to highlight my brother, Return of the King. I agree. This should be condemned by the Somali community throughout the UK. Marka, I just by reading that, I see a small little success in our people. There is hope. So thank you in Return of the King, and you're always welcome here, as you know. Thank you for that. So TJ, what you saying, sir? How we round this up?
Bro, honestly,
don't make it an America UK thing, please. It's not a US UK
my bad.
thing.
No propaganda yet. No propaganda. Nah,
Yeah.
bro, though. I'm just saying this, bro. No matter what, right, bro? Like, everyone has something to live for, and I think just because, some politician or some group or certain ideology you fall to, don't go to death for it. You know what I'm saying? Your life is more important. Because these politicians, the movement, it will go on and you will be dead. So I'm saying your life is, YOLO. That's all I got to say.
That's amazing. You always said that too. I wanted to actually welcome Mommy, is that you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. I want to add actually something.
Okay, but there's something wrong with your...
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah?
Yeah, there's something wrong with the audio.
Okay, all right.
Mute his YouTube, man.
Ha, can you mute Mommy, can you mute your YouTube? YouTube kaga kushla makafala. Can you Can you turn it off or mute it, please? Okay, hopefully you did. I'm gonna Mommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to actually find where I can mute.
Okay. Check your YouTube window that might be open.
Okay.
Yeah, your YouTube page might be open. So just either close that. But while you do that, I wanted to welcome GMH. GMH, please. No so gaba gaba sahib.
Well, I just wanted to join you guys and
yeah. Okay, get that. Okay, get that. link.
like an hour before this. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good, bro. It's all.
Yeah.
You're all
and I just wanted to say, it's a sad thing. In Arutini, I set up or like good future haysta in ficilada ay galaan naftoodana wax gaarsiiyey ummadana wax gaarsiiyey. I hope inay waalidada Soomaalidu ay baraarugi doonaan, ay ku baraarugi doonaan in caruurtoodu ayna ahayn commodities ay ku ciyaaraan ama ay ku taajiraan say ama magac u helaan ama meel ay wax ay siyaasada ma wax kale ay ku helaan caruurtooda dib ugu soo noqdaan ay really u foojignaadaan. Waa that's xalku wuxuu ku jiraa in caruurta si fiican loo koriyo. That's what I was going to say.
Absolutely. You know what? I think what had to be said is said. Waan wada fahansanay meeshan kugu hayno adaan Soomaalina hayno waxaan nagaadaya. We're going to have to take it as a collective. So might as well just kind of start taking things from under the carpet and putting it very obviously in our faces. And it's time to take a long look at ourselves in the mirror and waxani adan inoku halen weyno when lo halen doona. And I don't think we're going to like that. So that's how Mame, I think I'm not sure if you figured out the audio, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you off mute and you can say your piece, okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the mic and I really can't find, because the video that I have in here doesn't have any options in here. It's a different one. I think it's what is it called? A StreamYard, right?
Right.
So I can't find, where's the mute? Where's the button?
No, do you have your YouTube open on another window?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Close that window.
Oh, I have to close the whole thing?
Not the StreamYard, but the YouTube one.
Okay, no, it's actually coming from the stream.
Okay, so you can just go ahead and say it. Okay, so Mami, I'm not sure how it's gonna come through, but you go ahead and say your piece. I'll give you 1 minute, and then we'll close out that way. Okay?
Oh yeah, okay, right. So I just want to actually say this issue actually there's a lot of people who actually this person is actually probably suffering from mental illness. And there's a lot of people in the Somali community who know that this issue is widespread. There's no other country in the world where you can see people in stadiums all suffering from mental illness. Are you following me, guys? Are you hearing me?
We hear you.
Now, in every country that the Somalis have migrated to, they actually checked these people. And they all concluded that they suffer from mental illness. And all these doctors reported that these people are not normal. And they know that. Now, there's a lot of people who knows also what's going on, which is they are actually spreading something into the community. If you go to Afghanistan, you will not see hundreds of women stacked up in stadium, all shaking, all reporting the same symptoms. Now, there is a lot of Somalis, especially the women, and a lot of these online that you see in these forums, who know the issue and who lie about the issue because it is related to their clan. This is something they've been using for a long time. It's widespread in the community and they know it. The Ethiopians, whether they're Habashi or the Oromo, don't have this thing. Now, why is that? There is 200,000 Ethiopians in the US.
Mami, just 1 second, brother. I just don't want to. I understand what you're trying to say. I understand where you're going with it. I just don't want to. I don't want to start comparing communities, to be very honest with you. But I do understand what you're saying, that a lot of this is already known in the community, but it's just not being talked about. So I just wanted to say that this is basically what the efforts that we're doing here is to actually bring people such as my brother Issa Cobra here, or my other brother that was here, Harry, to come and talk to us about these different ways that our kids are being groomed to a certain extent, and how we can kind of stray away from that and basically reinvent what we mean. Now, there's the great majority of Somalis are contributing to where they are, but it's this notion of not saying something that is the underlying factor that we need to address. And so that's when I say that we need to look ourselves in the mirror and very wholeheartedly address this. It is to our own detriment. If we don't, we're the only ones that are going to suffer. I don't give a damn what you believe in. It's not even about the belief system. Your name is not going to be equated with this. And the only people that can do something about this, I'm not waiting for Mr. Adan to come and interfere in this. We have to do it. Like, the Somali people have to do this and come in the forefront and do that. But look, guys, it's been a great and amazing.
Sorry, Newman. I just want to jump in. Just give me 1 second. I just want to advertise one book that's been given to me yesterday by a Somali guy. Somali guy was an amazing family that I visited. That was connected. I'm an engineer, by the way.
Yes, I knew that.
So I do internet and all that kind of stuff. I connect people up with the internet.
Right.
A Somali guy. Oh my God, it's an amazing family that he had. That I could not imagine. I always thought Somali families were crazy.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is my opinion. I could be wrong, but how he dealt with his family just amazed me. He's a Somali guy. It's not an Adan guy or another guy. He gave me a book called Parent Manual: Strengthening Families, Strengthening Communities, and Inclusive Parent Program. Is a book that he's given me.
Who's the author? Who's the author?
The author is by Marlon Steele and Marlon Marigna, in collaboration with Jerry Tello and Ronald Johnson. It's an interesting book. It gives you an understanding of how to be a better parent. One of the interesting things within this book, I don't want to take up too much time. It's one of the, what do you call it, the statements on this book. It says building blocks for success: violence-free, healthy lifestyle within a family, childhood characteristics, parent modeling, family and community, parent teaching, relationships, discipline, society, parent-child relationship. This is one of the most interesting parts.
Maybe it's just, if I can interject, we're gonna have a whole stream about Somali parenting. Please keep that close, and we're gonna talk about that. How about that?
Is that on the next?
Well,
next
it's in the coming streams, definitely.
Oh,
That's
that would be
one
great.
subject I want to explore.
This is from a Somali guy who gave me this book. If I'm honest with you, yesterday, I was surprised.
That's great, man. That's no. Like, we're coming to terms with the reality at hand, and I just wanted to basically say, we've got to keep doing this. We can't let up, because the ones doing the horrible things are not letting up. So we got to keep at it and keep each other's honest, right? That's what I would say, Anugu. But anyways, enough of that. Just wanted to thank everybody that came through today. Thank you, everyone in the chats. Always a pleasure. Hopefully, we'll see you next Sunday. And as we always say, Somali Nimo till we demo. Peace out, everyone. Have a good night.